It is 7 o'clock, and as a matter of fact, like we're live, bro. The red button is swinging, so I can click this intro button at any
Oh,
point in
hell.
time.
All right.
Folks at home can see what's going on. There's currently 0 watchers, but that's
Whoa.
okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna hit
no.
the intro.
Oh, no, we suck.
Here we go, bro. Here we go.
Whoa.
Well, let's talk to the intro. There we go. This is the part of the intro where how strong
That's why it's really important to have a plan. Have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my god.
Yo! Who is this Degen?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about impermanent loss.
Really, at the end of the day, it's just a matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom, so we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
Background music.
That's fucking badass background music.
There is no second best.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels, welcome to this special episode of the Degen Roundtable. 4 years, 4 crashes, 0 regrets. The Degen Brotherhood lives on. I used ChatGPT to come up with that with that title for today's show. Welcome for all of you guys who have never seen us before. My name is Will Stevenson. I'm an iron worker that travels around the United States, building TV and radio towers, and I also like to talk cryptocurrency and self-improvement to assholes and degenerates such as yourselves. I'm joined tonight by my fantastic, amazing man, or ascending man, Mr. Nate McGettit, bro. I'm already having a good time. I'm like 2 beers deep. It's been a great day. I went and did a ropes course earlier. Life is good. Oh no, and it looks like you're losing signal. Are you there, broski? You back?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I accidentally kicked the wire down here, and I don't know why the wire to my camera has been like stupid right now. So, speaking of drinking, I am totally getting myself absolutely blasted. I'm just kidding. I got plenty of it right here. Let's go.
Homie's got his Perrier. I've got Shiner Bock Prickly Pear, which I don't know. It's an interesting taste, man. Like I don't know if I like it or if I dislike it. It's a very dark beer for like a light, refreshing flavor. So it's kind of a weird in between. Normally when I have
kind of an
prickly
emo.
pear,
It's like an emo who actually loves everybody, but you know he's got a very dark exterior.
yeah, something like that. But it's a good beer ski. How are you doing, bro? What's new and exciting with you?
Oh, you know, well, I mean, I'm still on the grind. I'm still doing my thing. I made 4 other videos on Tuesday, and they're literally, I got them all scheduled out. So that I've got on my channel, I've got them coming out every single day now. I'm just like, click. It's kind of, it's a lot of fun, you know. I'm having a lot of fun just going through like fun things to watch and just commenting on them. It's a lot funner than having to like do tons of editing and crap.
I so very much wish that I had the sound drop for the Pornhub intro where it's like, you know, that little intro before the port, because like when you're like, I made 4 videos on Tuesday, and it's like, oh, we could have some fun with that. We're nothing but a bunch of proper fucking degens over here.
Always.
Yeah, so I never actually introduced you. Yo, so for the folks at home who don't know who this fine gentleman is over here, I have to remember to point the opposite direction because my camera is. Anyways, if you guys don't know who this guy is, this is Nate McGettit. He's the Ascending Man. He has his own YouTube show, but he's also a member of the Degen Roundtable. He's one of our networkers. He goes around and talks to people and sees what's going on in different spaces. So I'm a Degen iron worker. Nate's a super cool pest control specialist that likes to talk to people in all the different crypto worlds and things. And we're here to hang out, have a good time, have some drinks, and chat a little bit about the news that's been happening. We normally do news on Sunday's show, but today we're like, yo, bro, let's just fucking read through some through some headlines and have a good time. And so I was like, oh, I gotta get like a nice clickbaity title going on, so that way people are like, ooh, what's juicy stuff. So I literally like
all about the fun, guys. Today, it's all about the fun. All right,
it's all about it's all about the fucking fun, man. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. In the spirit of things being awesome and things being great, it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show, technical analysis.
Yes.
We're not doing TA. We're doing chat motherfucking shoutouts, ladies and germs. So it's time for some chat fucking shoutouts. So for those of you at home who are holding your phone up right now, you have to flip your phone upside down in order to tell what's going on. For the rest of you guys on your PC computers, you're just shit out of luck. So let's hop on into the chat shoutouts and see what the folks at home are up to today. And starting with my very own self. Ooh, this looks like a thumbnail that I would make. You're absolutely right, me from the past. This is a thumbnail that I would make. Nothing but lightning shrimps and silliness going on. We're also joined tonight by Mr. Kenturian54X. Shout out to you, sir. What's up, Degens? What's up to you too, Mr. Kenturian54X? Glad that we could have you with us tonight. Kenturian54X is everyone's favorite pilot farmer. He does some awesome stuff. Y'all should go fucking hang out with him. And he also leads us in our Dungeons and Dragons crew that we got over in the Dungeons and Degens.
He is the lead wizard.
He is the he's not a wizard. He's the guy that tells the story. So he is our hypnotist,
the
our
Grand Inquisitor.
Exactly.
Grand
Ooh, the Grand Inquisitor. I like that. Kenturian54X, the Grand Inquisitor. But next up, we're also joined by Mr. Jonathan. Mr. Jonathan, ooh, is what he says.
Okay, I'm curious. Is that a oh?
Well, it could be an oh or ooh. I don't fucking know, man. But it's welcome, Mr. Jonathan. Jonathan's a regular over here on the Whiskey Wednesday show. Jonathan is actually a super cool bartender and a kick-ass gentleman himself. Good member of the Degen Roundtable family. We love to see you, Jonathan. Next up, we're also joined by Miss Amber Simon, who says hello to you too, Amber Simon. Shout out to you. Amber has been making some phenomenal physical fitness progress. She has posted status updates in the Degen Roundtable fitness chats. Y'all should go check it out. She has made an incredible transformation through her fitness journey and just health and wellness.
Shout out to you, Amber.
Yeah, shout out to Amber for sure. And as I recall specifically, she said that the doctors were trying to prescribe her a whole bunch of like pain medicine and pharmaceuticals and stuff, but she's like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna like do this holistically. I'm gonna go and like change my lifestyle, change my diet, work out more, do all these other like naturalish things and more like homeopathic stuff. And she was able to basically get rid of a whole bunch of like chronic inflammation problems that she was happening. So shout out to Amber. Super cool, awesome stuff. And speaking of super cool, awesome stuff, we've got my buddy, Mr. Slide 180. We drinking. Shout out to you, Josh. Good to see you, broski. Welcome to the stream. I went down to Josh's place earlier this I think it was Monday. It might have been Tuesday. I don't remember what day it was. Sorry, Josh. I forget my days. But I went down there and I hung out with Josh. I think it was Monday. Pretty sure it was Monday. And we had a great time. We did some drinking. We did some hanging out. And
Nice.
I've got some delicious, I want to say it's blueberry mead. So some honey wine from
that sounds
my good friend from the Marine Corps. Yeah, it's great, man. I was having some. I was over helping another buddy do some landscaping, and after the workday was done, we had some of that sweet honey vino. It was a good time. So shout out to you, Mr. Josh. Love that we could have you with us tonight as well. We're also joined by everyone's favorite muscular Pepe on the moon, Mr. Chad Donnerschwanz, who says hello, fellow based crypto bros. Hello to you too, sir, Mr. Chad Donnerschwanz. Glad that we could have you with us today. Bro ski. I love seeing your fellow based crypto bro ski things. And then we're also joined by Nate the Ascending Man. You guys may know him. He's right over here. And he says the most basest, referring of course to Mr. Chad Donnerschwanz. My God, man. I've had a single beer so far and I'm already slurring my words. So we'll see how great this Whiskey Wednesday goes. We're also joined by Mr. Hex Monkey. The Brotherhood lives on. That totally pulled me in, bro. I'm glad that pulled you in because, like, I literally went to ChatGPT and I was like, bro, give me a fucking clickbait title that has to do with friendship, has to do with the 4-year cycle, has to do with cryptocurrency and the Degen Roundtable. And it was like, I got you, bro. And so 4 years, 4 crashes, 0 regrets. The Degen Brotherhood lives fucking on. Absolutely, broski. You're 100% right, Hex Monkey. Shout out to you. This man, by the way, if y'all ever go to any of the meetups hosted by the Pulse Chain Tour or hosted by RG3 or Wild SJ or Matty All In, like, you're very likely to see Mr. Hex Monkey. Mr. Hex Monkey goes to a lot of these things, and I've met him at least 2 times, probably more. Oh, shout out to also Charlie and Miguel from DCC and Cultivate Crypto.
Yes.
Yeah, he goes to a lot of their meetups as well. But yeah, I love seeing you, Monkey. You're a fucking G, dude. I enjoy when we had that cigar night over in Vegas. That was a good time. So the Brotherhood definitely lives on, and I'm glad that we could use that to pull you on in here. Next, okay, so Jonathan has clarified it's or something like that, because there's a lot of capitals in there. So there we go. And we've got Jemmy as well, everyone's favorite babushka. Hello, D-Gens. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you too, Jemmy. Glad that we could have you with us as well. Your comments always brighten my day up. It's good to have you with us, Miss Jemmy. We're also, Mr. Slide 180 has clarified it is black cherry mead. That is fantastic. I like it. Well, the black cherries are delicious, bro. And that is super good mead. I'm stoked for when. I wish I had the bottles with me right now. I'd be drinking it on stream, but I left them over at the Jam Ranch, so I'm gonna have to go collect those up either tomorrow or the day after. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Mr. Hex Monkey says kudos to Amber and everyone else working on self-improvement. Absolutely, man.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. That's the thing. Like, the like what's kind of said in the titles, we got 4 years, we got 4 crashes, we got no regrets. We keep living on, right? So that's the whole purpose of self-improvement. You're going to go through ups, you're going to go through downs. You're going to have to learn how to extract the lessons out of them and self-improve. So yeah, absolutely 100% shout out to Miss Amber for that. Next we've got I skipped over Hexagon Lost in Asia because someone else made a chat. So there we go. We got Hexagon Lost in Asia saying, "What's up, guys? What's up to you too, broski?" Semper. Oh shoot, I forgot what the Flyboys thing is. But shout out to my Hexagon Lost in Asia, good military veteran buddy of mine. He says, "What's up?" This dude has learned, as if I recall correctly, he learned the hack to like financial freedom, and that's to get out of the States and to go get lost over in Asia. And just have a good time. I love it when you chit chat and check in with us, broski. Glad that we could have you with us for this fantastic night as well. Look, we got so many friends, so many families in the chat.
It is.
I absolutely need it in my life as well, bro. You hit that one right on the head. And then salut. If you're French, Chad, salut, or Italian. And then if you're just a military man, then you get a fucking crisp salute, broski. And let's see the last chat shout outs. Thanks, guys. Lost 100 pounds in counting and reversed fatty liver disease and every other ailment. Personally got to gloat to my primary doctor who was in disbelief and threw away all of the meds. So yeah, absolutely fucking shout out to you,
that's
Amber.
what I'm talking about. Sheesh!
Yep. That's the good shit right there. That's the kind of stuff that makes us forget about our problems. So shout out to all of you guys in the chats, and shout out to all of you watching us on the replay, all of you guys watching us live. Like, we know that each and every single one of you is just nothing but a proper D-Gen and a good sirs and madams and ladies and gentlemen and things. So we're going to go ahead and hop on into the most important story. Nate, I want to, I see that you brought up that screen share. Do we want to kick off the night with that one, or do we want to kind of sort of tickle their fancy with a little bit of just boring old headline reading first? What do you think?
Boring old headline reading. Yeah, I think boring headline reading first.
Okay.
And then we can hop into the video about that boring headline.
Ooh, excellent. I see you've got the video pulled up. So you let me know when we get to that headline, because I don't remember which one it was, but we're gonna go ahead and hop on in and read for you guys at home some campfire stories, because it's fucking Campfire Story Whiskey Wednesday. This is the show. Campfire Stories is where we just tell campfire stories. And one of the running themes on this show is I just call everything campfire stories, whether it's like a legitimate news article or a bunch of bullshit designed as hopium and copium to get you feeling a certain type of way. I call it all campfire stories because at the end of the day, like, the information doesn't matter. It's what you do with the information. Yeah. So if you're sitting around a campfire story, talking shit with your friends and getting entertained, then it's all good and dandy. But if you're actually going out there and doing some crazy stuff, then you could use the inspiration from the campfire stories to actually like really shape your lives and things. Oh, and before we go on, we've been joined by my very good friend, Dr. Alan Chen. Shout out to Dr. Chen from the YouTube channel Your Health Unplugged. We need to find a way to do a stream with an actual campfire. Yes, I could. We could go downstairs, Dr. Chen, and I could go to the, well, you can't because you're not here right now, but like I could go outside and there's like a literal, we have a campfire back there and I could stream, but it's pretty fucking hot right now in this Texas heat. So I'm much more comfortable inside where I have a full computer and a nice squeaky wheelie chair and, you know, a beautiful sword on the table and a glass of beer in my hand. Or that's not a table, that's a bed. Whatever the hell it is, you know, I'm rocking and rolling at my setup. But yeah, actual campfires, that's the way to go. We're gonna do campfire stories at some point, ladies and germs. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and launch into the actual campfires. Or the actual campfire stories. So let me go ahead and pull up my share screen because, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and I need to make sure that I don't dox the people that I'm communicating with. So there we go. All right, so here we are. So this is the campfire story format for those of you guys that have never seen it before. So basically, what happens is I noticed that there's a whole bunch of headlines in the in this Telegram group called t.me/crypto news. So if you guys have never seen this before, it's pretty fucking cool, right? So it's just cryptocurrency news, and they dive into the latest crypto buzzer, inside info, and funniest memes and stuff. So they're pretty cool cats. And they just put in a whole bunch of news and stuff. So without any further ado, we're gonna pick up from the last time I was reading it, which was Sunday. So if I hover my mouse over this, it shows on my screen that this was Thursday, May 29th, starting at 11 a.m. So this is, oh, there we go. Yep, we can see up there it is May 29th. So this is news that's almost a week old, but it's still kind of fun. So we've got a gold-backed stablecoin, USDKG, supported by the Central Asian country Kyrgyzstan. I don't fucking know, but they plan on making it the country's legal tender. So they're gonna have a gold-backed stablecoin. So $1 or something, and that's gonna be the country's legal tender. So I don't know shit about that, but Nate, I want to get your take on this, broski. What do you think about a country making a gold-backed stablecoin into their legal tender? You know, do you think that's a crazy idea? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? What are your thoughts?
No, it's definitely good. It reminds me a lot of like fiat, though. It's kind of how fiat started, and so now we're like moving it into the digital world. Which I mean, fiat's already digital, I suppose, but yeah, Is it important? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Because I know that they tried to make or back the US dollar with Paxos G, I believe, and that's backed by gold. So you know, you always need something that's backed by gold, I suppose, but. Yeah, I guess the plan for them is just kind of let the have their currency stay stable, because it looks like they are a decently small country. Well, maybe not super
I don't know a
tiny.
whole lot about Kyrgyzstan. I was thinking Kazakhstan when I first started reading it, but that's not Kazakhstan. So shout out to all our Kyrgyzstani watchers that are with us right now. Y'all are cool.
So one of the things that you need to think about, though, is that this is something that, like, we don't know the country, right? This is something that newer countries that haven't really even are known on the world stage, they're going to start using crypto and things like, you know, gold-backed cryptos, and able to start placing a bid in the new world that we're going to be flying into. And there are a lot of countries, like say the EU and all over Europe, that are just going to be like dropping ranks, so to say, as to where they sit on the world stage. And so something like a Kyrgyzstan can be like, hey, I no longer have to be like the 1,000th, you know, worst country in the world. I can move up to like maybe into the top 150 countries, or maybe top 200 countries. It kind of reminds me of like, say, what Ecuador is doing. What was it? Ecuador, I believe.
El Salvador,
thank you. Yep, it's kind of like what El Salvador is doing, you know. So, and it's been successful. So I think it's a good idea for them.
Well, I mean, fuck it. You know, if it works, it works. I'm curious to see like how measuring their country dollar in gold competes with other countries that are just printing it, you know, and buying U.S. treasuries and other such things. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep scrolling, and let's see what else is going on in the crypto world. So for those of you guys that didn't know,
let's go ahead and bring up my thing here now.
Okay, here we go.
I see you got a map. I do have a map. because I was
Before
thinking.
presenting, remove other media. Oh, that's no fun. Stop sharing.
Oh,
there we go.
There we go.
Gotcha.
Okay, so now if you look at it, this here, this is Kyrgyzstan, right?
Okay.
All right, so now if we were to back this up onto like the world stage, like where are we? You got Kyrgyzstan, right? This is like out in the middle. This is bumfuck Middle East or Asia.
Where is this?
There we go. So now we got Afghanistan, we've got Saudi Arabia over here, we got Iran, the Black Sea, India right here, all the way up here. And like, what the hell is even north? Like, we got Moscow, so Russia's up here.
Is that part of the
Wow, so
former USSR, I wonder? It could be.
I bet it would have to be. Yep, China's over
Yeah.
here, and China
Yeah.
has China's all the way around here. So yeah, this is like one of those out in the middle of nowhere type of towns, you know. So as I was saying, you know, it's really important for them to. It's going to be really important for them to try and make a splash on the world scene, and this is their chance to be able to do something about that. You know, it's basically like it's kind of like crypto is a brand new start for a lot of countries. And think about it this way, right? Did you know MicroStrategy before they started accumulating Bitcoin? Not really.
They got gold. Oh,
No.
did we know who they were? No. I see your question. No, we didn't. We had no clue.
We didn't. But now all of a sudden they're world famous in all the financial circles, right? They're in talks now with Apple and Nvidia and all these other ones, right? It's because it's because there's a new world with crypto, and it's a new thing happening. And so I kind of see the same thing happening with countries. So this is only 6.5 minutes long. So let's go ahead and watch this. And we'll just react to it and kind of see what happens. Let me know if there is sound. Okay.
Okay, I'll give you. I can barely hear it. Folks in the chat, if you guys can hear it clearly, give a 1. If you can barely hear it, put a 2. Go ahead and continue playing it, Nate. No, I cannot hear it anymore. That's interesting. We got to wait about 7 seconds for them to give us feedback and stuff on what's going on too. Yeah, we got a 2 from Jemmy, so we can't hear it very well.
So you can't hear it very well?
No, go down to the volume.
Yeah, so the volume is highest on here. Audio. Yeah, it's maxed out. That's why.
Yeah, we're getting 2s in the chat. This is on Cointelegraph, right? Can gold turn Kyrgyzstan into the first Web3? Let's see here now. I wonder if it's your PC. Let's is there a Oh, this is from the Cointelegraph article.
Yes, it is.
A first Web3 nation. While you're looking and trying to sort that out, I'm just going to kind of talk about it off the fly of my pants. And like, I don't know how you have a gold-backed stablecoin unless there's like some sort of third-party trusted entity that like switches the gold back and forth into the different stuff. You know, that's an interesting notion to me. What do you think? Why gold? Why not like a different thing back? Why not like a gravel backed stable coin where they like have a whole bunch of gravel that's worth like $40 million, and then they just they just put that on the blockchain. And then how do they prove that? There's a whole bunch of questions here, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring this back on up stage. Hit that play button again.
Okay, so they gave me a little bit of a warning that I might be hearing ourselves. However, that's on this one. So let's go ahead and try it again.
UAE built a crypto oasis in the desert.
How's that?
And now, quietly but deliberately, Kyrgyzstan is stepping onto the world stage. Backed by gold reserves.
They said, okay, we're going to give you tax rebates. We're going to lower tax rates for crypto companies. The government of Kyrgyzstan acts as a backer. It's part of their larger Web3 strategy. So they know that if they back USDKG to become a prominent worldwide project, it will help their mission more of transforming Kyrgyzstan into a Web3 paradise.
El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender. The UAE built a crypto oasis in the desert. And now?
Yeah.
So I can hear myself echoing on your
yeah, that right there was kind of the warning. I can't hear myself, but maybe you can hear yourself.
Yeah, I can hear myself, and the folks at home probably can hear me echoing. But one of the things that I want to like stop them on in that video is if they can get the rest of the world to jump in and to adopt it and to use it. That was like that. Like they started that right off the bat. Like expectation based on the work of others. If the thing is like successful, whatever. So it's like, I wonder what their backup plan is for like, oh, if the world doesn't get in on this USDKG, then what? You know, it's like, ooh, then what? That was my first little hang up that I just noticed immediately on in there, because I'm thinking of like, oh, well, what if I don't want to do it? Does your thing work then? You know, and it's like, uh-oh.
By the way, are you still hearing your echo?
I'm not hearing my echo. So that
okay, now do it again. Are you hearing your echo?
Echo. Yeah, I can hear it now.
Okay, cool. So I can mute and unmute the actual screen while you're talking, and then we don't have an echo after that.
Oh, very clever. Alrighty. Okay. What that was my only thought so far. If you want to go ahead and play it again, we can watch this thing through a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with you. But here's the thing though, that crypto does that I first realized with the like the crypto.com card, right? Is it's worldwide. You can convert one thing to another thing almost like instantly, and I start using, like, say start using a coin as US dollars, switch the US dollars over to the Kyrgyzstan coin, whatever it is, right? So I think that's kind of their plan.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead
quietly but
full screen this.
Deliberately, Kyrgyzstan is stepping onto the world stage. Backed by gold reserves, supported by generous tax incentives, and guided by a national Web3 strategy, this Central Asian country is crafting one of the most ambitious blockchain visions yet. We recently sat down with William Campbell, advisory lead at USDKG, one of the key initiatives in Kyrgyzstan's digital vision, in order to understand how the country is building trust, attracting investment, and turning Web3 ambition into reality.
I love how they call it the gold dollar. That is so cool. Oh, it's different.
I just realized I muted myself. Oh, I can't hear it anymore.
But in fact, we want something that
I
can
accidentally
be used
muted
in
it. My
daily
bad. Okay, it's good.
And it is different from a lot of the gold stablecoins that exist, because most people think, oh, gold backed, so you follow the price of gold. But in fact, we want something that can be used in daily life and daily money transfers, but has the stability of gold. So we're pegged to the US dollar. The US dollar goes up, we go up 1-to-1, but we're backed by real gold reserves that sit in the vault that people can trust, that is audited. So it
backed by the real gold, not the fake gold, the real gold.
The real gold. None of these gold features.
Right? It is the gold standard for Kyrgyzstan.
Makes it a slight difference because there are very few projects in the world, at least big ones that I know of, that do that. And then having the trust of a government level entity saying, hey, we endorse this project and we back it is a next level of trust.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, more freaking countries need to do that crap. Hey, we are a legit government and we actually back this thing. See,
do they use the US dollar over there?
Oh yeah, everybody uses the US dollar, but they're turning their Kyrgyzstan dollar into, well, I mean, everybody like trades everything that they would trade out, like export in US dollars, right? However, their local currency would be a Kyrgyzstan dollar thing or whatever. So now they're transferring that, or they're turning it into a gold dollar. It's a freaking gold dollar, bro.
Okay. Keep going. Go ahead. This is interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like when you get gold, it's true it's a stable value, but it is something that you speculate on. I'm not going to go and trade gold in my day-to-day life. I'm not going to go buy coffee with gold, even if it's digital, because the price goes up and down.
True.
If you want something for global commerce, it has to be stable. And the US dollar is, you know, the largest currency on earth.
Kind of like your mentality.
And that's why so many of these projects create a dollar stablecoin, right? So we wanted something for international commerce. We wanted something for remittances and for daily life and use. We don't really compete with Paxos and Tether Gold because they fall.
Okay, so first off, Tether is not gold backed. Tether, well, I suppose, you know,
it's partially gold backed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's partially because of the treasuries, right? So I guess treasuries, bonds. Okay, yeah, maybe that's backed by gold. But that's kind of like third party. Paxos, I think, is like the only one that's actually legitimately that's legitimately backed by gold.
I suppose I don't know. I'm curious to see what else he has to say, but he's talking about how it's different. Let's hear.
Yeah.
Follow more the price of gold, whereas we follow the dollar price. But if I had to say how we plan on competing with USDT and other main stable coins like that, the first off the bat is the trust, right? The trust and the backing. People will be able to know that we have the reserves that we talk about. Look at all the issues that USDT is having in Europe and potentially in other countries. Circle as well, right? They have audits, but we don't know how often those audits are. We don't know how real they are. And so that's already the first level of competition. And the second level, which will come later in the stablecoin in USDKG's journey, will be that revenue model, the yield, the DeFi, lending and farming. We plan to integrate a lot of products with USDKG. And so keep it at the top of the crypto world. Kyrgyzstan is going through a modernization process. They want the world to know that they're digitizing their economy and they want to become the next El Salvador, but they want to do it bigger and better. And so the role of the government here is very important because we're not a central bank, CBDC, and it's very important for people to know that because there's a separation. The government is here to back us. They're here to even provide gold reserves if it's needed, but the operation, the management, it's all run by the private entity USDKG in Kyrgyzstan. So there is a limited role, but it is a strong one in the sense that it gives us the trust and it gives us the confidence of the people around.
All right, what's your thoughts on that?
So it reminds me of Pirate Money. Remember that book that we read for book club?
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Pirate Money principle. So I wonder if they just took that and fucking ran with it. So that's interesting.
Well, yeah, there's a possibility of that. The other thing that I'm looking at though is the world, obviously the success of El Salvador. There's definitely a thing there where they did it first, right? So it's like follow the leader, and they want to be successful at that. And like I said, move up the ranks of how awesome your country is. Yeah. And so they're gonna want to have a look at new ways of trying to deal their currencies overall, because the only way that countries currently know is you print paper and then you keep printing the paper. That's really the only way. It's fiat way, right? But now with something like Bitcoin, which is digital gold, okay, now we've got something brand new and new different ways of being able to convert stuff, as well as being able to stabilize without printing your currencies. So that's kind of what they're looking at. And I do like one of the biggest issues that like smaller countries tend to have is because they need to use US dollars and able to trade with the world. They need to continually print their money, but they need to print a lot of it, right? And they don't have a ton of resources like the United States. The United States is a juggernaut with how many resources we have in our production and all that, right? So what ends up happening with these smaller countries is that they just end up being really poor, okay? Or they're either really poor and it sucks for them because they can't buy a lot of, say, gold for themselves, or they just print the hell out of their money and become freaking, what was it, Brazil or Venezuela, where
Germany during the Weimar Republic.
Germany. Yeah, and then they just collapse. And so the idea is, how can I print something and then buy more gold to be able to back it to print more, and kind of like start sort of a micro micro strategy sort of loop upwards, right, into becoming a richer country, while also being a tech what's the word? I'm forgetting the word for like innovator or someone who sees the future, right?
Leaders or something. I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but like using this new tech as a visionary. That's a visionary country using this tech and able to build themselves up and become the model, like El Salvador, become the model for other countries to follow along, and eventually, rise up to how important you are on the world stage.
I would like to see more countries doing this. I would like to see more innovation. I would like to see more leadership.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to do it, but I'm curious. I'm curious to find out. Should we go back to scrolling through some more headlines and see what else is going on? Because there was something else that caught my eye, or rather a more meme looking thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up here for the folks at home. But this is so here's where we left off, right? And then that has a whole bunch of liquidations. We've got it's a quick little, just Hester Pierce claiming that meme coins are kind of like collectibles and are not securities. But the thing that I wanted to show you guys that I thought was kind of funny comes from our good friend CZ, Chengpeng Zhao. And he says,
our boy,
crypto is still here with the Gary Gensler clown nose. Binance founder CZ trolls ex-chair Gary Gensler after the SEC dropped its lawsuit. Ha 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 ha. It's interesting about the SEC dropping lawsuits and losing lawsuits is they're just like they're on a pretty big old losing streak. They lost to Richard Hart and to Hex and to Pulse Chain. Like, turns out you can't sue code. Turns out you can't like have claims against freaking words that exist on a blockchain. But not only that, but they're dropping lawsuits against other people. So apparently there was a lawsuit against Binance or something like that, and the SEC has dropped it. Now, I do want to point out that the SEC is no longer under the guidance of Gary Gensler. To my knowledge, he stepped down long before all of this stuff starts coming out. But he stymied the growth and the innovation in the crypto space for so long that it's like he deserves a little bit of trolling even after he gets out of office. And I want to say that Paul Adkins is the new chair of the SEC. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. But somebody is the new guy up at the SEC. And
we got the new guy.
It's no longer this clown. So nice try, Mr. Gary Gensler. But it turns out we're still here. So that was something that I wanted to point out real quick. We've also got the fear and greed index sitting up at 60. Now, this is across all of cryptocurrency, and I don't really know how they measure it, but this is, again, as of May 30th, which I'll remind you guys, let me look at my calendar here. May 30th was last Friday, so 5 days ago. This is what the fear and greed index is, so it doesn't really matter. Bitcoin hit some price, and so this is the other important thing, right? I think that Brendan and I touched on this for like a second during the Sunday show, but this, like, if we haven't touched on it before, or you guys haven't heard on it now, the SEC says that crypto staking on proof of stake networks does not involve security. So if you're staking Ethereum on Ethereum, then it's not a security. If you're staking Hex on Pulse Chain, then it's not a security. Crypto staking on proof of stake networks does not involve securities. So there's a nice big old W.
That's what I'm hearing out of that. Crypto is not a security. However, look at all the thumbs downs.
Well, not all of crypto. They're specifically talking about the staking on the proof of stake networks. Now, I'm sure that if we were to if we were to take this and like look at the details in the inner weeds, I think that they're probably being specific about the native coin on specifically Ethereum staking on Ethereum, or Pulse Chain staking on Pulse Chain, or Binance staking on Binance. I don't know how other chains do their proof of stake, but that's what I think that this is geared towards. And having not looked into it, that's my gut feeling. But still, it's a good thing to hear from the SEC, because this allows like ETFs to basically say, hey, not only can you buy Ethereum, but you can buy Ethereum and we'll stake it and we'll get 4% APR, or we'll get 3% APR, or whatever the hell, measured in Ethereum on your staked Ethereum. So now not only can people buy Ethereum for ETFs, the exchange traded futures, for those of you guys that are in the traditional finance world or new to it or anything, but now you can also buy it and stake it, which turns it into a yield bearing asset. So imagine that if you took your money and you locked it away, you could get more money. That's essentially what this is referring to. And that's what the whole like Hex and Richard Hart ecosystem is focused on. Is like, hey, if you lock away your money and you delay gratification, then you can get more later on. So same sort of principle. And this is just like it's a great big leap and bound in the world. So I'll go ahead and put a thumbs up, a heart, and a little
yeah, I like that one. See, now I just think it's weird that they're thumbs downing that one so much. But
well, that's probably Bitcoiners. So I mean,
yeah,
you know,
there you go, Bitcoiners.
They got no proof of stake on Bitcoin. So like, "Meh." So and I would presume that most people in cryptocurrency are some sort of Bitcoiner. And so like if there's
Pet rock.
you know, we've got there's 92 there's 92,000 subscribers in crypto news. By the way,
Yeah,
as you
saw
guys
that.
see this number up here go up, just pay attention to that in the market. Like last time I was streaming, this was like 82,000 subscribers. So the more people that are subscribing to crypto news, the more people that are going to be seeing these headlines and reacting to it. So like use that as one of your top signal indicators. When you see that this number has gotten like to a ridiculous amount, and you see the number of people watching live on the Degen Roundtable has gone from, whatever it is right now, it looks like between YouTube and Twitter, we're at 36 live viewers right now. Like when you start seeing those numbers spike up to ridiculous amounts and you see more normal people and retailers getting into cryptocurrency, like that's a sign that, hey, we're starting to like approach the top. People are starting to get into euphoria.
Yeah.
When you get into euphoria, when everybody's happy to buy, eventually you run out of buyers and then there's nothing left but people selling, and that's when it goes whoop boom, fucking plummets down into the ground. So while the price is steadily going up and everyone's having a good time and they're telling their neighbors and their neighbors get in, their neighbors have a good time and they're like, oh my god, I'm telling my neighbors, and then everyone starts telling everyone and it starts spreading like wildfire and everyone starts getting into cryptocurrency. You use these things as signals to be like, oh shit, it's been like 4 years and I haven't seen any crashes yet. So you know what that means is we're about to see some more crashes pretty soon. So so like pay attention to this sort of thing. As the view counts go higher, as the number of people that are hopping on into the ETFs get higher, like seeing these news articles, understanding normal people that aren't normally into cryptocurrency getting into it, it's like, okay, I just have to be aware of the fact that like this is one of the things that indicates that we're coming closer and closer to, the start go down time where everyone gets sad and the price goes down and everyone starts selling. And then we go from the bull market going up into the bear market going down. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Oh man, the story of James Wynn. So for those of you guys that don't know, there's a dude that's just like a proper
That is a
fucking
freaking
degen.
crazy man. Dude, he is nuts. Put 100 million of the price of being a dip below. Oh, bro. Like, imagine just willy-nilly losing $100 million. Like, yeah, I think I'll go ahead and just stick this in here. Like, oh my God. That's crazy.
What's crazy, he made all of his money off of Pepe. And like, he got all of his riches off of like gambling on the Pepe token. And like, he's like an OG 4chaner and Redditor guy. And he was like, man, I know Pepe's a fire meme. And so like Pepe coin after Pepe coin after Pepe coin, all of these Pepe tokens would launch and he would buy up a significant amount of all of them. And then finally one hit. And that was the Pepe token that we know. It was like the 14th iteration of Pepe or whatever. It just caught on for whatever reason. And he was like, oh shit. And he wrote it all the way fucking up. And then it crashed down. And like, and then eventually he cashed out. But it was just like, he started playing in the leverage game with Bitcoin, gambling with other people's money. And he got liquidated for $100 million. And so it's like, goodbye all that money that he made. Like he's probably still above zero, right? But he's lost a significant amount that he's gained by gambling. So it's just this dude is something of a legend. So good for him. It's sorry to hear that he got liquidated, but that's what happens when you gamble. That's what happens when you take on leverage. The best way to like not get liquidated is to not borrow other people's money when you're in the marketplace, right? So for those of you at home who have never heard of liquidations or leverage or anything like that, basically you can take your money, you put it down as collateral, and you say, hey, I promise to not only put this money down as collateral in your guys' hands where you can take it if X, Y, and Z criteria happens, but also I'm paying you a fee for the privilege of borrowing your money to use to buy this other thing at X, Y, and Z price, or to buy the rights to sell it at X, Y, and Z price. So essentially, if you have $100 and you want to take 5x leverage on a token that costs $100, then instead of just like, going out there like a normal person and buying one token, you can buy 5 of them, right? But you put your $100 in a magical little container and you say, hey, I can't touch it. And now you have $500, but you hold this contract, right? Now, if the price of the thing goes up and it doubles, and now instead of 500, you got 1,000, then you have to wait a certain amount of time period until your contract closes. And you're like, all right, my contract closed. I want my $100 back, but I get that extra 500 that I made on top of the 500 that I borrowed. You have to give that 500 back, right? You have to give those 5 tokens specifically back, whatever the price might be. If the price doubles, then you get, double whatever it's worth, or 5 times your initial. But if the price goes down, instead of the price going from 100 to 200, instead if the price goes to like 80, then you lose everything, and now you no longer have your $100 anymore. You no longer have a $500 position. You got nothing. You got liquidated. So that's what happened to Mr. James here. Is he went and he took his money and he used his money to borrow other people's money, and he bet and he lost, and so all of his money got taken away. So that's how he lost $100 million. Is he was trying to take his 100 million and turn it into a billion, and didn't work out so great. And so now this is where we sit. So this is why we warned you guys about like leverage specifically. Is leverage is a gamble where you borrow other people's money to use it for buying and selling to try and get a profit, so that way you can take a cut of that profit and add that into your own bag. So I don't suggest that you guys do it, because leverage is very dangerous. If you want to gamble, then just buy the fucking coin yourself and just be okay with like, less gains. That's my own personal advice. Nate, do you have any thoughts on leverage before we move on to the rest of these readings?
No, I'm good.
Okie dokie, cool beans. All right. We're going to continue on reading these we're going to continue on reading these chickadee chat shoutouts. Before we do, though, we've been joined by Mr. Moonpilled Rational Optics. Moonpilled Rational Optics, another real life friend of mine. Cheers to you, good sir. Glad that we could have you in the chats with us today. I fucking love this dude. Shout out to you and your beautiful family and everything going on great with you. What's new, gentlemen? Bro, I went on a ropes course today, and Mr. Nate's been over here kicking ass and taking names and just doing a shit ton of work, making a bunch of money. So like, we're living life. We're doing good. We fucking love it. And then also we've got a comment from Mr. Kenturian54X. You guys watched the RH Max debate today. I have not watched the RH Max debate today, so that's something that I'm a little bit keen on watching. So that'll be something interesting. If you guys are interested,
I wouldn't mind going and watching that. Actually, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, for the DGens in the chats that know the thing that I do with the note taking, if you guys want a summarization of the Richard Hart of the RH Max show and debate, then go ahead and put the number 7 in the chat, and I will go, and if I see like 3 or 4 7s in there, then I will go ahead and download that stream, run it through my software system, and transcribe some notes for you guys, so you can get the TLDR of that debate without having to watch the entire stream. So if you guys want that, I will turn that into a PDF and I'll post it up in the DGen Roundtable chat. So if I see a couple 7s in there, then I'll go ahead and do that. But shout out to RH Max. He does some great content. We fucking love to see it. So good mention there, Mr. Contrarian54X. I need to watch that. So that'll be pretty nifty.
All of the 5s by Jonathan.
Yes, we got Quattro Cinco from Mr. Jonathan. Sorry, broski, but that's not a 7. So I've got the Quattro Cinco 2 here, sir. So I'm right there with you. I fucking love it. We're gonna stake that Hex Quattro Cinco, baby. All right, so let's go ahead and get back into some of these here headlines. So we got the James Wynn liquidation. That's pretty cool stuff. Bitcoin at a number. We don't care about that. Thailand blocks OakX exchange, Bybit, and other exchanges for unlicensed operations.
That's crazy.
What a pity. Well, I guess they're I'm not gonna talk shit about Thailand. Actually, they have enough of a reputation on their own that I don't even need to say anything. So
well, let's go ahead and get into that, actually, because
man,
looking at it like the reasons why over here, and apparently this is something that seems to me that I believe is coming for basically all crypto. Well, basically all of crypto, and what wouldn't have happened with us as well. Okay. So ultimately, like I got the do you
want me to pull up share screen?
Yeah, I got the article up right here, cool, and kind of looking at it.
Screen. Oh, remove ad screen. Sweet. Can you press the control button and scroll in so we can see it a little clear? There we go. Beautiful.
There we go. So the thing that I was looking at is it's like, okay, so they're going to lose access to all this. OKX, 1000X. That's hilarious. An exchange called 1000X. I love it. XT.com. Right. But it's the Thai SEC. They filed charges against them. Doesn't that sound familiar?
Yes, it does. I want to learn more.
Yeah. Well, the investors are advised to secure their assets promptly and use licensed platforms to avoid risks like money laundering. And I think that's really weird because not your coins, or not your keys, not your coins, right? And so it's like, okay, so trust us. That's basically what they're saying. But it's because of the crime suppression. So I want you guys to really truly think about this. All right, what we're seeing here currently happening is what we almost had with Gary Guzzler, drinking all of the semen on planet Earth. And this is what happens when you're not in a place like America where we're free. Okay, they will legitimately just start taking things from you. And like this, we've said it so freaking often about how you need to have your own keys, your own wallets, right? Because you need to own your own coins. It's because of things like this. If you're not in a country like, and even as of right now, and I'm pretty sure we'll get into this later, but California right now is trying to make the same sort of thing here, right here. Okay. Yeah. California is trying to make the same thing happen where it's like,
I kind of want to transition into that after
we're done
covering this. So like let's go ahead and finish this one out. But like that was, just so you guys know, cat's out of the bag. That's the meat and potatoes of today's show. Is the California bill where they voted to legalize, like, hey, we can take your stuff if you don't touch it for 3 years, which sets a fucking shitty ass precedent. But before we get into that, let's finish this out. But I think you're absolutely right, Nate. Like this is just an incredibly like ridiculous thing. You know, I don't know. I want more information, and I don't know if the Thailand government has given. Is there anything else? So that's a price prediction, right?
That's a price prediction. What the hell? Why do they have that there?
Is there? Oh wow, is that the entire article?
Yeah. So that's this particular article.
I don't trust it.
I was looking at so there's a couple of other articles about this, but no, this is Grok. This is Grok, and I was just kind of looking. I was just kind of looking at the overalls of like what the hell is going on around here and things like that.
Just so you know, I personally cannot read that. It's very small on the screen.
That's because it's personal, baby.
Oh, it's personal. Good. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there with a fucking 4K camera. While you're looking through there, we've also been joined by a Wild SJ. So shout out to Wild SJ. Good to see you.
What's up,
Wild SJ appears, and then also we've got K Hudson appeared ×2. There we go. Good to see you guys. Welcome to the stream. Oh, we've got Mr. Kenturian 54X. He's throwing up a 7. All right, Kenturian, I'll do it just for you, broski. I'll get that. I'll get that stream for you.
Yeah. So overall, like most of these are kind of saying the same thing, where it's basically like because of the SEC in Thailand, right? Thinking, oh, well, this is all criminal activity. They're looking specifically at, did you actually like license with us? And if you don't have a license, then we're kicking you out right now. And which doesn't make any sense, because this is the same issue that that Gary the Semen Demon was having, was that where is the blockchain? Where is it? It's global. You can't just say, okay, well, this is in Thailand now. Well, it's like the operation of the users are in Thailand, sure, but it's from the web that is worldwide. You can't you can't say, okay, enable to operate a website, you have to be licensed by us. That just doesn't make any sense, because at that point you would have to enable to operate worldwide, the World Wide Web. Oh my God, right? Then what you have to do, who would have fucking thought? You would have to have thousands and thousands and thousands of licenses. Can you imagine how long that would take? Because every single country in the goddamn world would have to go so far as to just look into, is this a good thing? Is this everything we want? It would take like 16 years just to get a freaking company off the ground. It would not work at all.
Yeah.
That's my rant.
I'm right there with you, broski. Like, and here's the thing is, like, with the centralized exchanges, are they really cryptocurrency? Like, kind of, sort of. They're like they're the dirty in between. Who's the one that compared centralized exchanges to like a public bathroom? Whoever it was, I want to say it was probably Sami. Shout out to Sami. But like, somebody said that cryptocurrency centralized exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, KuCoin, OakX, Bybit, CoinX, 1000X, all of these centralized exchanges, they're essentially like, if you go to Amazon, and you go and you sign up for Amazon Prime, and then you buy a movie, right? When you buy this movie on Amazon Prime, and it's like, you can download it to your phone, you can have it on your computer, whatever. If Amazon decides for whatever reason that like, hey, you're actually a terrorist, you don't get access to Amazon anymore, then congratulations, you don't actually own that movie. You don't actually like own any of these things that you allegedly bought and paid for. That's all just gobbledygook. If this is what we talk about in the cryptocurrency sphere. If you buy Bitcoin on Coinbase or Binance or OKEx or whatever the hell, and you just keep it on your little account in the exchange, you don't actually own it. It's like you walking into a store, buying a loaf of bread and being like, I don't want to take this loaf of bread home with me. Hey, store, can I keep this loaf of bread like in my little Foot Locker over here that says Will on it? Can I keep my loaf of bread over there? You're like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then like the store goes bankrupt. It's like, well, you can't get your bread now. Or the store says like, oh, you're a criminal, we can't give you that bread. Or they say like, oh, we're all out of bread because we gambled it away, like what FTX did. Centralized exchanges are not true cryptocurrency, but they're that weird in between where it's like, if you're a person wheeling and dealing in the regular world and you want to go get bread, but like you have no way to buy bread other than by going to the store and getting it, then you go into the store, you buy the bread, and you take the bread home with you. You take it out of the exchange, you take it out of the place where you buy it, and you go and move it into your own personally secured wallet, whether it's a hot wallet or a cold wallet or something of that nature. It's like you take the bread home and you put it in your house where you have a lock on the door, and you have guns, or you have like guard dogs, or you have like an apartment with a steel door or something, right? You secure your own goodies. You keep track of, and you maintain, and you custody your own bread. You custody your own cryptocurrency rather than relying on a centralized exchange to do it. So like, I'm not sure what Bybit and OKEx and 1000X did that pissed off the Thailand SEC, but I imagine it's a bunch of bullshit, and I imagine it's not something crazy. I did not see Binance on that list, which is interesting because Binance is they're like one of the biggest worldwide exchanges. Coinbase is the biggest in America, but Binance I think is by far the biggest worldwide one. So whatever the regulations are and the rules or something, Binance might be following them. But I'm just inclined to disbelieve anything that any sort of Securities and Exchange Commission says in any country, and that's just my 2 cents. So I see you've brought up another screen share, Nate. Do you want me to pull it up, or do you want me to continue going through the
so this one here is the California one, and this is the video specifically with it. Now I went a different route with it because the issue that we were having before, which unfortunately is the stupid echo, is because it routes from the screen, and then the sound like reroutes through the system, and then that's the sound you're getting, which it can work, but there's like, you have to route it a certain way.
I didn't tell you this while it was happening, but I muted you while you were playing the video, and there was no echo. So if I mute your camera, or if you mute your camera, then I think it's your physical microphone picking up your stereo. You know what I mean?
Oh, there's a possibility. I don't know about. Actually, it might be because there's me and there's you. So at that point, it would mute my system technically from
it mutes your
heard.
input.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So if you're playing a video and the video is playing on your speakers on your computer and it comes in over the microphone, then like.
Well, yeah, there's that. I think there's a different loop though with the actual system that I have set up, which I mean that's perfect though. If I just need to mute myself, that'd be great. That would actually be so much more helpful.
Okay, let's. I'm gonna go ahead.
Long story short, people, we are literally being technical support live on air. We do it live. You know what DJ Roundtable is. Well, anyways,
I fucking love this thing.
Yeah, I downloaded the video and I just put it up here because I kind of figured it'd be better that way. So I'll mute myself for this one too.
All right, sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up your share screen then. Do we just want to hop right on into it?
Let's give a little bit of background on it if you want to go ahead and like maybe throw. I mean, it just says California approves a bill to seize Bitcoin idle on exchanges for 3 years under unclaimed property laws. Okay, that sounds dumb.
That's literally civil asset forfeiture. Like, hey,
that's so dumb.
You weren't looking at it. You weren't holding on to it. So we took it from you. What does that ring any bells, guys? Does that sound like thievery to you? Like, am I wrong here? But if you're not holding onto your sandwich and the seagull comes and takes it away, is the seagull correct? Like using like that's a bad example. If you're not looking at your sandwich and you walk away for a second and someone comes and takes it, is that like, does that have jurisdictional fuck, what's the, not jurisdiction, I don't know, it's not right is the point that I'm trying to get to, you know. It's not fucking right. So anyways, it's freaking ridiculous. We got Jonathan over here saying, I wonder if these institutions will begin selling the paper Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You know, like if they get a hold of stuff on like exchanges,
they already have
like
the ETFs.
Exactly. You know, like and also exchanges starting to have their own Bitcoin. So like the Coinbase Bitcoin, right? It's like, we got a 1-for-1 Coinbase Bitcoin. We have a Coinbase treasury. And so we've got 100,000 Bitcoins in our treasury. And so we're creating 100,000 CBBTC or something like that, you know?
Yep.
And they're just like, oh, we'll print it out of thin air. And in order for you to get one CBTC or whatever, other than buying it on the open market, is to trade it back and forth with us. So who the fuck knows? Will they be selling it? Will they be buying it? No fucking clue. Oh, we've also got our good friend Brendan from the Degen Roundtable has joined us. So shout out to Brendan, the anonymous bean. New phone. Who does the self custody? Anyone can do self custody, my good friend Brendan. We fucking like it.
Would do that?
Jonathan, they might already be behind the scenes. They're absolutely behind the scenes. 100%, bro.
Oh.
You're 100%. And then SJ over here, we keep that bread on lock, friends. Absolutely right, SJ. We're not letting that bread go anywhere, and we are indeed doing it live. 3 years is a short time. Yeah, fucking A right. Let's go ahead and do you want to hop on into the article, Nate, or are we still discussing it before we get into the video?
No, let's jump into it.
Okay, sweet. Here we go. Bring it up your share
let me know if
AB 1052 by Assembly Member.
I can hear it.
There we go. You can hear it. Is it echoing?
No, it was quiet. Go ahead and mute yourself and then play it as well.
Assembly Bill 1052 by
playing
Assembly
it.
Member Valencia.
I'm not muted.
Digital assets.
Assembly Member Valencia, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once again, muy buenas tardes, members. AB 1052.
It's a little bit quiet. I'll say that.
To legitimize digital assets, also known as cryptocurrency and blockchain, and unclaimed property law. California must protect consumer assets and embrace.
Can you pause the video? Turn off the auto mute function on your computer, mute yourself, and then play the video again. Because I think that's what the magical ticket was. Is the StreamYard option for muting and turning off the echo thing? Because that's when we started hearing your first video a lot better. Let's try that one. See how that works. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and play it. When you've got the
echo cancellation.
Yeah, echo cancellation.
Turn that on, off.
Well, right now I can barely hear you as well. Maybe it's my audio.
Really?
I don't know if my audio went down.
It says it's really low on mine. What the hell's going on? So echo cancellation.
Okay.
That's weird.
Are you I see you adjusting you're modulating the mic sensitivity, right?
Yeah. So this is the highest it goes. This will always go lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I was just being loud as fuck.
Hit the play button. Let's see what happens.
And blockchain.
There we go.
As we continue to modernize our economy.
It's kind of quiet, but I can hear it, so I'll just shut up.
In our society. With that, respectfully ask for a yes vote.
Thank you, Assembly Member Valencia. All debate having ceased, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 69, no 0. The measure
69.
passes.
Wait. Go back to did they describe this at all?
I don't think they did, actually.
File item 186.
This is the actual vote
by
itself.
Assembly Member Valencia. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1052 by Assembly Member Valencia, an act relating to digital assets.
Assembly Member Valencia.
Okay, let's tell the folks at home what this bill is. Can you pull up? Do you have readily available?
How do I remove from studio?
Okay.
And then share.
I can barely hear you. I don't know what changed with your audio.
Oh no, that's just me. Like,
okay.
You can hear me just fine now, right?
I mean, you're at like 40% normal volume. It's functional. For the folks at home, if you guys could put in the chats, it might just be my headset. Man, I don't know. This is
Maybe.
why it helps to have like at least 3 people or something.
Right.
Okay. You sound fine to me, I suppose.
Okay.
Ladies
I
and
can always start
gentlemen,
yelling.
here's what I'll do in the chats, ladies and gentlemen. If my volume is a lot louder than Nate's volume, then put in a 3. If everything is good, then just put in a 1. Put a 1 in the chats if everything is hunky dory and everything is fine. I see Mr. K. Hudson has said that we sound good. Kenturian has said we sound good. So I'm just going to presume that we sound good until I start seeing 3s in the chat.
Okay.
So
sick.
if there's 3s in the chat, then I know that I'm louder than you, which means that you're quiet, which could just mean that I fucked with my headset at some point. So let's go ahead and I see you've got a screen that's up. Do you want me to pull it up for the share?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Red.
Alrighty. Can you zoom in? Good, sir.
Okay. So I
Beautiful.
crooked it. And now
nice.
The Glock. So yes, it is true that California Assembly passed Assembly Bill 1052 on June 3rd, 2025, which includes provisions allowing the state to seize cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. Okay, such as Bitcoin. Wait, is it all? Okay, so is this all cryptocurrencies? Yikes.
I think
that's
just
weird.
such as Bitcoin is like an example of a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm like, oh shit, it's not just Bitcoin, it's like everything. Left idle on exchanges for 3 years under its unclaimed property law. The bill extends existing unclaimed property regulations to digital assets. Oh god. Meaning that if a crypto holder does not demonstrate an act of ownership or interest. Okay, so that I think that's going to be the key word right there, act of ownership interest. They're gonna be like, hey, does this belong to you? Bro, that's how they can. Well, I mean, okay, so when you're on a centralized exchange, though, of course they've got your details, but like, what if they start doing things like that with like wallets? Like that'd be scary as all hell.
Bro, this is bullshit, man. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't like this at all. Like I don't like that the state can say, "Oh, we're claiming this thing because you didn't touch it for 3 years."
Yeah. It's so stupid. And like this
what
would
if
be,
you
this
go to
would be
jail?
a way.
What
I'm
if
not sure how they would do this, but this would be a way that they could dox wallets. Be like, hey, we're gonna be able to seize this somehow, some way, and that could be like a backdoor type of wallet thing. Maybe like with MetaMask. And then they're like, hey, you haven't touched your Bitcoin or you haven't touched your Ethereum for 3 years. We are going to seize it, and you get like a letter, kind of like a foreclosure letter, of like, hey, we're about to seize this. Is it yours?
I think that left idle on exchanges is important to note. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking centralized exchanges, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, do they do this with stocks? Do they do this with trading portfolios? Do they do this with trusts? Do they do this with like what else do they take after 3 years of you not touching it? What if they put you in jail for 4 years?
They probably take your balls.
Like I don't like this precedent, man. And again, I don't understand it. So this is why this is Campfire Stories with Will and Nate, right? It's like I don't understand this whole thing, but I don't like the idea of, let's say they put you in jail for 4 years, and so you can't touch your crypto exchange. Then congratulations. If you're a fucking a known wealthy person who keeps his assets on centralized exchanges, and then they charge you with some bullshit fucking like, I don't know, they get you jaywalking or something.
Put you away for
They
4
make
years
you
for
public
jaywalking.
enemy number 1. Or they do the same thing that they did with like John McAfee or with Ross Ulbricht or any, just name a politically charged figure that people get thrown into jail for X, Y, and Z period of time, right? Like I think even Martin Luther King went to jail for some shit. Like not to say that he was innocent or guilty or whatever, but just like political prisoners go to jail. It's part of the thing.
Yeah.
So like if a wealthy person has a bunch of money and they can't access it and can't fucking do stuff with it, then what's to stop the state from doing this sort of thing? I hate this precedent. And again, I don't understand it. So take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. But just like, this is the beginning steps down the road to like, we're going to take your power away from you. We're going to remove your ability to transact, to store value, to like be able to
Take your freedoms.
exchange, take your freedom, take your sovereignty. The power to transact is one of the 4 pillars of sovereignty.
Yeah.
It's like
guns.
you've got transportation, you've got speech. So movement, speech, security, and transaction, right? Like
Or
those are your
communication. Oh, no, speech. My bad.
speech. So communication, movement, security, and transaction. Like that's those are your 4 pillars of sovereignty, you know. And if you remove one of those, if I set up border checkpoints, then now you can't move. If I quarantine you inside your own house, now you can't move. If I take away your ability to transact by taking your money away, by taking your assets away, but let's say you have a big old pile of bricks that's on your property, and the state's like, I haven't seen a French maid come by and wipe the dust off of those bricks for 3 years. So now all those bricks belong to me, Uncle Sam, and I'm going to go take those bricks and I'm going to self-custody those bricks, and we're going to use them to build a school or something. It's like we get to say that they're ours now because you haven't touched them for 3 years, or because you haven't proven to us that it's yours. So it's just
yeah.
I just don't like it, man.
Can you go over those? Can you go over those 4 pillars again?
Yeah, so the four pillars of sovereignty, for the folks at home who haven't heard this before, this is one of the
Tell me
things
the
that I
4
talk
pillars
about.
of sovereignty.
The 4 pillars of sovereignty. This is something that I repeat ad infinitum, and you guys will probably hear more of it, and I'll probably write a book about it at some point. But the 4 pillars are, right? It's basically the Bill of Rights. You've got the freedom of speech. If you can't talk to people, if you can't communicate your ideas, then you're a slave.
Take notes.
You've got security, so the right to bear arms, the right to self-defense, the right to learn jujitsu and Muay Thai. And if someone's attacking you, then you can defend yourself. Or if someone's doing something that's incorrosive on you, then you can protect what is yours and do lethal force and stuff like that, right? So you've got communication, you've got self-defense, you've got transportation, freedom of movement, which is you're not stuck inside your house. You're not stuck inside state lines. You're not stuck inside of East Germany before they take down the Berlin Wall, or West Germany, whatever the fuck it was.
You're not
right?
stuck in a cage.
Yeah, you're not stuck in a cage. If somebody has you trapped and you can't move, then congratulations, you're not sovereign, right? So again, communication, security, transportation, and transaction. Transaction is like the other one. It's like the point of a human being's existence is to go out into the world and do good things that other people like enough that they pay you for it. They're like, wow, you're a powerful person and you do good stuff and I appreciate it. Here's some money, right? Because you can't do everything. If you're Bob the Builder and you can build all these cool things, but you can't pull teeth, then you got to go see a guy who pulls teeth. The guy who pulls teeth, he can't build things. And neither one of them can raise a chicken. So at some point, they got to eat a chicken. They got to build things. They got to get their health taken care of, So if you can't transact with other people that can solve the problems that you can't solve, then how do you go about in the world as a person who needs problems solved? If you can't transact, if I've got a whole bunch of pests running around my neighborhood or running around my house, and I can't say, hey, Nate, how do I get rid of these pests? I need you to come over here. I've got $4 billion. Please get rid of all these bugs that are around my house.
I'll take that.
Nope, no problem, Will. I'm going to get rid of all these bugs. You're good. I'm like, finally, this problem of mine is solved. And Nate, when you go home and you go turn on your TV and your TV doesn't work, you're like, fiddlesticks. There's no TV towers in my general area. I need TV towers. And so Nate goes to his local TV tower TV station. He's like, hey, WFAA, over here in Dallas, I need TV access. And WFAA is like, oh, sounds good. We need a TV tower right next to Nate's house. And then they come and they hire me, right? People need to be able to transact. People need to be able to protect themselves. People need to be able to travel, and people need to be able to communicate. Those are the 4 main pillars of sovereignty. And if I'm missing anything, folks, please tell me. But what California is doing with this bill is they're removing your ability to transact. They're hindering it by saying, oh, you've got valuable thing and you didn't touch it for 3 years. It actually belongs to us. So nice try, sovereign citizen. But it's actually, this is the property of the California state government. So here we go. We've got it. And that's the 4 pillars basically in a nutshell. Right?
It is the 4 pillars. The 4 pillars of the freedom pole barn. It's the pole barn you go under and you go inside when you want the freedom.
Yes.
They're trying to take it down. They're trying to take it from us. You can't have 3. You got to have 4. 4 legs.
But it's just it's fucking nuts, man. Yeah, exactly. So we've got Paul Sachs here. Shout out to Paul Sachs who has joined us. I'm gonna touch on this one here in a second, Paul. But he was saying California seems to be looking looks to be going down this path. Absolutely. They're taking things away from people. I don't know what you guys in California are doing. I love each and every single one of you guys, but like if you guys enjoy having your things taken away from you, then California is the place to go. Like, and again, like I have different priorities than other people. So like there's certainly things that are important that are happening in California. And those of you guys that are doing them, keep doing them by all means, but just watch out for what your government's doing down there. It's freaking ridiculous. And K Hudson says, what problem are they trying to remedy? You know what the problem is? They're trying to remedy K Hudson.
What are you doing over here? Like, why? What problem? I'll tell you exactly what the problem is. You ready for
Let's
this
hear it,
one?
Nate.
Hot take. Here's the problem they're trying to remedy. Us having freedom. That's the problem. Because why? They want the power, man. They want the power. Like, that's the issue. That's the true issue right there.
Yep. Look at here. We got Jemmy. If California wants Bitcoin so badly, why don't they just buy some? Well, I'll tell you why, Jemmy, because that would require effort. Why would you buy something when you could just legalize the legislation of stealing it? You know, it's like, why would I go and buy a bike if I'm the government and I can just take your bike? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I'll take it one further, actually. What if they already are buying, but they want more of it?
It could be.
They want to take away your right to be able to own it, you know?
Yeah.
What if it's freaking given to you?
It's freaking nuts, man. Yeah, speech, defend yourself, movement, transaction. Absolutely right, bro. We got Jemmy here over here with a 3. I wonder if our mics are uneven again. Nate, can I get a sound check from you?
It might be me just screaming in the mic over here. Loud as all hell.
Screaming in the mic. It might also be me screaming over in the mic. I know I'm getting agitated for sure there, but thank you.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely insane. I absolutely hate it when they go. It's like they'll do anything they possibly can, especially California, trying to take away your rights. And it's like, are you actually kidding me? Like, I get real heated with that type of crap, which, by the way, is kind of goes right into what I just got done highlighting right here. The assets can be transferred to state custody. Trust the state.
Yeah. So they did just say exchanges. So I will concede to that point. You're absolutely right, Jemmy.
Right.
The exchanges, so like again, these are centralized exchanges. One more reason not to keep your assets on centralized exchanges. You are right in the technical sense, Jemmy. Absolutely right. The thing that I'm upset with is the precedent this sets and like the what this means moving forward. If they take an inch, what's the next inch? What's the mile? Like if we start going down in this direction, like where does it take us? And so the reason that I'm having this bombastic reaction to it is because I can, not that I can, but you know, I inference the future. If they're going in this direction, then like what's next? You know?
Yeah,
and it's freaking ridiculous. Jemmy wants us to keep reading.
She's excited. She wants us to keep going.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
Yep, one of the so I'm just gonna kind of like skip a little bit in here. We're just gonna kind of keep going. So ultimately, these assets are going to be held by a licensed custodian in their original form, and it is not going to be liquidated into fiat. So that's a big deal, right? Allowing the owners to reclaim them later without loss of potential appreciation, unless they're letting them sit for 3 years, because it usually takes 4 years for it to appreciate properly. Oopsies, didn't think about that. But we'll go ahead and move on from there. This bill obviously has sparked debate, with critics arguing it, and this is exactly what we were doing. So we are critics doing this exact thing, which infringes on privacy-focused ethos of crypto bros. That is us, all right? Yeah, and in Pulse Chain, like the majority of us were in Pulse Chain, right? And that's like the major ethos of exactly what it is that we're trying to do, what it is that Richard Hart's trying to do, right?
Yeah.
So you have Eric Peterson, though, of the Satoshi Action Fund. I've never heard of him, actually. I should probably look him up sometime. Emphasize that it protects consumers while preventing exchanges from liquidating unclaimed assets. Well, that's interesting. The bill now heads to the Senate for further consideration. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I don't want it.
If you had to trust one or the other between cryptocurrency, centralized exchange, or government, which one would you trust? Which one executes people? Which one passes shitty laws? Which one gives out, which one builds the roads? Which one gives you, the option to transact, whatever. These are just the things that I think are important to ask yourself. I want to go back to look at this fucking K Hudson, California confirming, not your keys, not your coins.
That's exactly it. Yes.
Bro, you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. We've also got Paul Sachs earlier, the Emergency Banking Relief Act of 1933 and Trading with the Enemy Act of 1917 got us Executive Order 6102, gold confiscation. Oh man, the 6105 is a military piece of paper. Gold confiscation. Do we get round 2 of this in the next 10 years with Bitcoin? Think Patriot Act.
Right.
I wouldn't doubt it, bro. I wouldn't doubt it.
Right.
That's something worth thinking about. Nate, do you have any thoughts on Mr. Paul Sachs' chat here before I bring it down?
Oh, I absolutely. Whatever is going to give them more control. The Patriot Act was absolutely treasonous, in my opinion, and I understand the idea of making sure that people. You don't have more terrorists that are going to take down towers, such as the ones that were in New York. I understand that fear, but you can't. Yeah, right. You can't just straight up take away people's rights, and that's what this entire country is built on: is the ability to. The 4 pillars, the great pole barn of freedom.
The pole barn of freedom
over here,
dude.
Right?
I'm writing that down. Hang on, I'm stealing that. I'm giving you credit. Let me.
We are the pole barn of freedom over here. That's what we are. This is the greatest pole barn that has ever. It's the greatest. They say that others have told me.
Wonderful. It's such a beautiful pole barn.
It's the best. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. So, in looking at people, let's just kind of go through a couple of comments real quick.
Yeah,
so they're just borrowing it, huh? Right. Thank you for this clarification. Oh my god. Yeah. So they're basically just calling it stealing the crypto. Point of any of this except to put yourself in a position to steal more assets. See, that's kind of what we've been saying, you know. It's really nice that people don't know that the state does this with all your banking brokerage accounts as well. Oh shit. I didn't even think about that. Well, it's a good thing I don't do too much of that.
Bro, there was another thing about the FBI going through safety deposit boxes was ruled constitutional.
Dude, okay,
yeah,
I just saw that. I have not dove into it yet. That's so bad, bro.
It's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing. You know?
To sell it later, no doubt. Okay, so this guy, bad robot. He's saying basically they're just gonna, if it doesn't go through, they'll just come back around. Yeah, bullshit. So if you don't move my coins on Coinbase for 3+ years, the government will take them, and I have to go beg the government for them back. Is that accurate?
Sounds accurate to me.
Yeah, it sounds accurate. Thanks for the clarification. All negative narratives were floating around the whole day and crushed all cryptos. What? It crushed the cryptos. Okay, how about that? Choosing
California. Imagine choosing to live in California.
Imagine choosing to live in California. True. What the hell, bro?
That's so like people are free to live where they please, right? And I don't judge you for living there. You know, I have different priorities than other people. I recognize that. Some people like watching gay porn. Some people like eating, pickles on their hamburgers. Some people like fucking popcorn stuck in their teeth. It's not my point to tell you what's okay to like and what's okay to not like. But I think that I'm doing you a disservice if I'm not giving honest feedback about, what are the tools that people are using. If I see someone like holding a chisel and a hammer and they're chiseling away at the wood, then it's like, oh, you're using that tool and you're getting a result that you expect. And if I see somebody taking a screwdriver and a pair of pliers and they're using the screwdriver as a chisel and the pliers as a hammer, then it's like, hey, just so you know, like it's not going to work as well as if you use a chisel. Like just understand this is the way. Like you can kind of get away with it for like however long you need to make things work, but it's just like California is doing a lot of things. So like just it's important to pay attention. Same thing with Texas, same thing with New Hampshire, same thing with Florida, same thing with Wyoming. Like know the things that are happening in your area if you want that area, if you want to be aware of the things that area can do to hinder your freedoms or hinder your sovereignty. For me, sovereignty is the most important thing. So like if you're okay with this risk,
I would agree.
Then that's fine. And just understand that's the sovereign decision that you make. If people want to live in California because of X, Y, and Z reason, just like that's fine. Just understand this is something that the government might do to you. So
yeah, it's an issue, and this is actually real quick. This comment right here is actually the same thing that we ended up getting in our own chat after
seizure, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, after the one, because this story originally was put in our chat by the most amazing Dace Northal, which he's in there all the time. Like, by the way, if you're not in our chat, why the hell not? You're getting this stuff super early, and not only that, but you're also getting our opinions on it extremely early. So you need to absolutely get into our chat right away. It is right there. Get in. Right. But yes, we had this same question asked right away the second Dace put it in there. And I'll tell you what, I mean, it's something to look at. That's for sure. But with that being said, I suppose we could move on.
Yeah. Since when did the government ever care about the amendments?
Sad but true.
It is sad but true. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see if there's I think that there might be some chat shoutouts that I want to cover here real quick before we hop on back into the juicy
I was gonna say if you wanted to
juicy
go
things.
into
So
that
we've
real
got the speech slavery stuff. Oh, we've got Mr. Large and in charge. By the way, I don't know if I shouted you out earlier, Large. Let's fucking go. What's up, D-Gens? It's good to see you, Large. I am shocked and appalled at myself if I forgot to shut you up. But shout out to Large, everyone's favorite Strassum Troffen with the blood on his helmet. We fucking love to see you, broski. Gotta adjust my camera here so I'm center. But yeah, we got Large has joined with us. Kay Hudson, Jemmy's active. We got Paul Sachs is also. Oh, look at this. Our government was built on thievery, privateering.
Hey.
And they don't want competition. Some things never change. So I will say this: I fucking love me some privateering ideas. It's basically like, hey, you're a pirate. You can work for the government and go steal other enemies' things, and then we'll give you a letter of marque, which means that basically, like, if you're from the U.S. and you're stealing Spanish gold, and Spain's our enemy, then like, hey, we're not gonna persecute you if you go and steal Spanish gold. Now, if you go and steal French gold, then we might have a problem. But like, you're good in the U.S. waters as long as you go and steal Spanish gold. So it's basically like military contractors. Privateers were the one of the earliest versions of military contractors. So there you go, and that's absolutely right. Kelly confirming.
Boom there, Hudson.
I freaking love it, dude. Mr. Large, what is this pulse chain you speak of? So turns out, Large, that there's actually a whole chain of people that are interested in the 4 pillars of sovereignty, right? And this is stuff that Richard Hart talks about a lot. Not really the self-defense thing so much, the security thing, but he does talk about freedom of transaction, freedom of movement, and freedom of speech. So like I threw on the freedom of protection and security and self-defense and everything because that's my whole background is like teaching people how to shoot and stopping violence and stuff. But like Pulse Chain is a place where these 4 pillars of or what is it? The four pillared pole barn. Hang on, I've got it written down.
The pole barn of freedom. The pole
barn of freedom. Yes, the 4 pillars that support the pole barn of freedom. That's where it comes from. You guys can find all of these things on Pulse Chain. The only thing that Pulse Chain does not solve is violence. So if you guys go and you find people like me and you learn how to shoot, you learn how to self-defend, you learn how to protect yourself, and or Stephen Five Keys, shout out to Stephen Five Keys, one of our guests from long ago, who talks about securing your crypto and being like a secure and safe person and understanding that violence is a thing and mitigating it in your life. Like this is something that's super duper central to Pulse Chain. So if you guys don't know about Pulse Chain, you want to learn more, then just stick around. We'll talk about it all the fucking time.
Hell yeah. Hey, Will, by the way, you are wrong. Being in Pulse Chain actually does have that pillar. It's called having people like you.
Bam. So here's the thing. I'm not going to be here forever, guys. Like, I'll be here for as long as I can. And I'll fucking... I will... I will protect and defend my own self for as long as fucking possible. But, like... I want to try and teach all of you guys how to protect and defend yourselves. I'm going to put this down because this thing's fucking real heavy.
It's as big as you, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's almost 6 foot tall. I think it's 68 inches in totality. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna stand up with it. I don't know if I've shown this all the fucking way on stream before, but this is
okay. So it's literally as tall as me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think it's taller than me, bro. That's crazy.
It's 68 inches, dude. It comes up to my eyebrow, right?
Yeah.
So this is like super fucking cool. Anyways, I'm gonna have the Hex Sword guy do some work on it later, but that's like one of my favorite things. Security. Here we go. Here's the Hex Sword. Right. Security is very important. you guys have to learn how to secure yourself, secure your crypto. We've got the Hex logo and the pulse chain shit all right here.
Hell yeah.
Here we go, guys. It's all about securing yourself, getting self-defense. At some point, I'm not going to be here. At some point, all the other people that teach you about security and teach you about self-defense and teach you about shooting everything, like, we're not going to be here. So hopefully we can find a way to make our knowledge perpetual, infinite. I don't know. Hopefully I can teach enough people that that the information spreads well enough that we don't have to worry about it anymore. But like, I would like to at some point find a way to put my knowledge out there and get everyone from at least like from 0 to 1. Like, you might not be a master, but the thing that I'm really good at doing is I'm really good at teaching the basics. You and I went shooting, fucking up at my house, bro. Like, it was a good time. We learned like just
awesome.
super simple principles of marksmanship. It wasn't anything crazy, right? But like, it was a good time. So like, with these 4 pillars in pulse chain, right? Like, these are the things that help you be a sovereign individual and roll around wherever you want to and do whatever you want to and help other people as much as you can and make all the money while you're doing it. So like, I can't remember where I was going with all this.
It releases your ability to find your purpose, and in finding your purpose, you find happiness. And so whenever you're hearing people saying like, oh, I just wish I could be happy, they'll oftentimes go to like some sort of like, say, alcohol, drugs, or sex, or just something like that, right? They end up yeah, right. Hey, you can still that having a little bit of
It's a tool
time
like anything else. You can use it correctly or you can misuse it,
Exactly. And people oftentimes misuse it because they're looking for happiness through that. And unfortunately, well, I mean, that's not how you actually find it. Generally speaking, as humans, we find happiness or satisfaction, maybe is what I should say, through purpose. And the only way you can truly find that satisfaction through that purpose is by finding your purpose through sovereignty, the ability to search and find it instead of being forced into something that you really hate.
This is why we don't like, California doing this thing. I don't like anyone that tries to force things on me. I like people that are my friends that are like, hey, here's an option that you can take if you want to, But whenever people are like, oh, you have to do this, or I demand that you do this, it's like, oh, I'll see you later. See you, buddy. Like, I'm not going to do a fucking thing for you. You can go fuck yourself. That's my own. But like, here in Pulse Chain, like we got a whole lot of folks that are all in that sort of mindset, and we all do this sort of stuff all equally to some degree or another. So surround yourself with people that care about you, that are trying to make you more powerful, that are trying to help you get your goals accomplished and do all these sorts of things. So shout out to Mr. Large. I've got some feedback from Jemmy. She's hearing both of us equally now, so this is good. Thank you, Jemmy. I am glad that we have sorted out the sound situation. Just prove, guys, that we do this stuff live. We're also joined. Shout out to the #1 cheerleader in Pulse Chain, Hexaco, and all of the crypto space in general. We're joined by Miss Tam Tam. Hello, my lovelies. Hello to you too.
Great to see you, Tam Tam.
Glad that we could have you with us tonight. Excellent, excellent. Oh, yes, we do get loud and then we get quiet. Shout out to the Hexkins. Been holding Hex since 2022. I'm right there with you, broski. I think I was in a little bit before 2022. I want to say I found Hex in 21, but I could be wrong. I don't entirely recall. But it's been so fucking long. Day 1000, whatever that ends up being. That's my that's when I started getting into the Hex place. But shout out to you, Large. Good to see you, sir. We've got Jemmy again responding. I would trust myself, not your keys, not your coins. Absolutely right, Jemmy.
You are your own banker.
Good stuff. We like to see it. We're also joined by Mr. Funkmaster Hex. Everyone knows Funkmaster Hex. Funkmaster Hex, the Trailer Park Boys Julian to the Hexaco space. Good to see you, sir. And like, I don't know if you noticed this, Nate, but Brendan in one of our shows, he suggested that Funkmaster Hex at the end of his name here that he put a little drink behind it. And so Funkmaster Hex went and like changed his YouTube profile to have the fucking drink after his name after Brendan suggested it. So it was fucking cool as hell.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Good shit, Funkmaster Hex. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening to you too, sir. Fucking love you, broski. Oh, and speaking, we were talking about cryptos, currency conspiracies earlier. Shout out to Conspiracy Crypto, my good real life friend Ramon. Bro, it's good to see you in the chats. What's up, fam, is what Mr. Ramon Conspiracies Crypto says. Go check out his channel, guys. Ramon's a fucking killer, awesome dude, and he makes some great content talking about conspiracies and talking about cryptocurrency and just like man, there's so much positivity and good energy that comes out of his show. Just great people, great conversations. I love to see it, man. Man, what a great fucking show we're having so far. This is awesome. And we haven't even I think we've scrolled let me take a look here. We've scrolled maybe 7 articles. Oh, this campfire stories.
Well, it's because we're diving into the interesting ones, and we're taking a look at them, and there's a lot to be learned. That's the big important thing that I think. See, one of the issues. This is why podcasts are just so good, because if you were on just like Fox News or whatever, the way it used to be, even with debates, was like a half an hour show where you throw out basically just headlines, argue about the headlines, and then you're done. Whereas podcasts, we're on here for going on an hour and a half now, and like this is why I say Joe Rogan is able to go on for like 4 hours, right? Because you get in super depth with all this stuff, and that's what we're doing. We find an interesting title, we're like, hey, that's a headline, and then we start like, okay, so what's actually going on here, what's the details of it? And then from that we're able to extract out lessons that are actually going to be able to we are going to be able to use for our life, right? To help, whether it's it's our crypto investing life, right? Or if it's just living in general. I think this is definitely the best way to get information out there, I would say.
I like it, man. I like it too. And it's cool because I'm fucking 4 beers deep right now, I'm pretty sure. And we're having a good time. We're having a good time. We're having fun. And it's like you were saying in the green room before we started the show, it's value and it's entertainment. We're literally going through the headlines live and we're hanging out. We've got fucking 49 people between Twitter and YouTube. 49 people watching live right now. Fuck Master Hex, Jemmy, Large, Tam, man, Kay Hudson, freaking Paul Sachs. Like there's so many fucking people. Wild SJ. Like it's crazy, man. This isn't even counting the people that are like up in the beginning of the chats. I'm just like doing a quick scroll through. It's fucking nuts, man. We love each and every single one of you. But
Absolutely.
because we love you, we're gonna keep reading a couple more fun and spicy and awesome things. So let's go ahead and hop right on into it. Let me see here. Pull up the proper background, take away that distraction. So we left off with Thailand blocking OKX and Bybit and everything. We compared that a little bit to what's going on in California. So we're just kind of go a little bit past that. So some numbers and things that don't matter because again, guys, this is like the 29th of, so that was like 6 days ago. We don't care about that. Next up, we got Wall Street giant Cantor Fitzgerald to launch a gold hedged Bitcoin fund offering upside Bitcoin exposure with gold backed downside protection. Whoa.
That's interesting. That might be a good way for them to avoid the what is going to be a 50% drawback in the freaking next bear or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we'll fucking, I suppose we will see. Oh, you guys can't see when you can't see the little emoji list I have here. Okay, I'm gonna put a little clown.
That's great.
Yeah, not for any particularly good reason, but just because it's funny. It's like I am interested to see what it does. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm glad that people are doing interesting things, and like while I might not agree with it and I might not use it, there's certainly some people out there that will, and that's pretty cool. Before we go too much further, Amber Simon says, I thoroughly enjoy the show, always learning, not financial advice and information from the community. Yes, the most important part from that is not financial advice. We're a bunch of fucking assholes on the internet talking about our feelings. So, don't take us too seriously. For fuck's sake, if you're making financial decisions based off the things that we're saying, God help you. May God have mercy on your soul.
Godspeed.
Godspeed, amigos. All right, hang on. Let me see here. I got my hashtag not financial advice. I'm gonna throw that on in there. So there y'all go. Hashtag not financial advice. So just remember, guys.
There you go.
We're just as lost as you are. The only difference is we're on a camera. So if we say something, we have to fucking hold it down and stick to it, or have to deal with it in that respect. So there we go. All right, let's see. Bitcoin price, we don't care about that because, again, guys, this is May 30th, so who gives a shit, right? All right, let's see. We've got another gambler just wiped out 27 million profit on Hyperliquid in just 4 days. He went from 27 million in profits to a $105,000 loss. Eek!
Great job, numbnuts.
Leverage is bad, guys. Hyperliquid is a cool tool. So if you want to gamble, go for it. That's the way to do it. But, there we go. The SEC staff says staking on proof of stake blockchains is not a securities offering. So this is the more details. Here you guys go. That's some considerations for y'all to have. Also, we've been joined. Shout out to Black Label Expat, not financial advice. I was told this is a financial guarantee channel. Sir, I can guarantee you that we give advice, but it's not good advice. So there you go. It's just two people talking, man. It's just two people talking, and we're interacting with you. I love you though, Black Label Expat, blah blah blah. Black Label Expat. Good to see you, broski. Glad that we could have you with us. Another fucking Moon Ganger in the house. Shout out to all of the Moon Gang out there. Yeah, I was told this is a financial guarantee channel. I guarantee you that we will talk about finances. And other than that, that's it's just kind of a hat draw. So there we go. We already kind of touched on this. I'll go ahead and put a thumbs up, thumbs down, and a thumbs up and a clown face because the SEC is a bunch of clowns. So there we go. H100 Group has purchased some Bitcoin. Cool. Wow, they hold a total of 6 Bitcoin. Whoa! Oh man, almost $1 million. Look at that. Hey, it's more than many people, but like
I love how everyone's doing the laugh emote too. Like that's actually kind of funny.
I'm gonna put a little celebration, because it's kind of like it's like when your kid brings you a crayon drawing, and it's like, I know this isn't the Mona Lisa, but I love you, so I'm gonna put it on their fridge. So they get this little celebration emoji. We've got also FTX has kicked off phase 2 of repayments today. So over $5 billion in stablecoins is to be distributed starting at 1500 UTC. So for those of you guys that didn't know, FTX is a bunch of scumbags. Again, this is May 30th. So this was let's see, let me take a look at the schedule of the days. This was last Friday. So last Friday, this has already happened, right? $5 billion of stablecoins got paid out to people that got fucked by the FTX exchange. One more reason not to keep your money on exchanges, because California's going to fuck you, and also sometimes they're going to gamble your money away. So shout out to FTX and just being a bunch of dingleberries, but at least they're paying people back. So I'll give them the thumbs up and a heart for that. We've also got President Trump. Okay, so guys, check this out. So one celebrity dude says that other people are, being mean. So there you go. We're going to laugh at that.
Yeah, because China ended up doing the same thing. Like, but President Trump violated it first. And it's like he said, she said, okay, blah, 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 blah.
Here's the thing, guys. Sometimes people say things. And that's it. It's like, oh no, you called me a poopy head. Yeah, Trump called China a poopy head. What does that have to do with the price of tea in Britain? We'll see. Let's see. We got Stripe begins early discussions with banks to integrate stablecoins for cross-border payments, expanding its fintech offerings amid a booming $243 billion stablecoin market. That's pretty cool. I do like that. So Stripe, shout out to Stripe, making more tools for people to pay for things.
Oh my God. Boys, stablecoins, onboarding the governments one government at a time.
Yeah. So I'll say that Stripe, I want to say that Stripe is the payment processor that's owned by Jack Dorsey, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. So don't.
Stripe, PayPal, what was the layout? Like Swift or something.
Stripe, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, all of those things, right? They're big payment processors. This is something that I've been talking about for a long time. Something Sami's been talking about for a long time is the stablecoin super cycle. Is like, I just see a whole lot of stories about stablecoins, things that are supposed to mean $1, right? So I never called it a stablecoin super cycle. Those are Sami's words, but I've a long time ago, I noticed that a lot of the news articles that are coming up have to do with stablecoins. There's a lot of stablecoin stuff happening. So I was reading all those tea leaves, and who the fuck knows where it's going to go. Hopefully it's going to be pretty cool. I guess we'll see. Let's see what else we got going on here. So Circle minted. Hey, on the subject of stablecoins, Circle minted another $250 million on Solana. So there's that. Careful of Circle. They can freeze your wallets. Same thing with Tether. Bitcoin hit a price. Trump Media has officially signed a $2 billion deal to purchase Bitcoin and hold it part of its treasury.
Okay, that I like. See,
Yeah.
this right here, actually, now you're talking about the stablecoin super cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
The little joke that I made there, a little quip of like, hey, stablecoins onboarding one government at a time. It's because, hey, guess what? The world trades in the Federal Reserve currency. What is that? It happens to be the US dollar. What are stablecoins being onboarded as? A US dollar. So what's going, I mean, and then, Dollar Cost Crypto, shout out to him. He was talking about how this is the ETF cycle, right? Well, the ETF cycle just happens to be these large institutions that basically work for the government for the most part. And so what are you getting? You're getting gigantic. Yo, what's up, Johnny? You're getting gigantic institutions and governments now on chain. What are they going to be using? What is it that they need to appropriately use the blockchain? They need the US dollars. And so what's going to happen? They're going to create a ton of stable coins and put them all on the chain and go buy up assets on the chain, just like they would gather a ton of dollars and go buy up property, right? Things like that. So that's the reason why this is going to be a stablecoin super cycle.
Yeah, I agree. And like as crypto becomes more popular, like what is the effective use case of crypto? Number one thing is like payment solution. That's why crypto was invented. That's why Bitcoin was created. It was created as a peer-to-peer cash. It was not created to be a store of value. It was created to be a way for people to transfer value to others. And so like what's the best and most effective way to do that? Stablecoins. Let's be honest. It's not Bitcoin Cash. It's not Bitcoin. It's not Ethereum. It's not Hex. It's not Pulse Chain. It's not Solana. It's not Polygon. It's not Fartcoin. It's not whatever the hell. It's stablecoins. Stablecoins are the most useful thing because they represent the dollar, and that's the way that people trade. So, like it or not, people doing stablecoin stuff is bullish for the entire industry. So I freaking like it. And shout out to Johnny Chaos again, another fantastic amigo who has joined us tonight. We freaking love to see you. And we're gonna do nothing but make some trouble and have some bad ideas and read some more campfire stories.
Read that t-shirt right there.
Yep, there you guys go. Fucking nothing but bad ideas coming out of here. All right. Let's see. We're gonna hop on back on over. So let's see. James Wynn got liquidated again. Wah, wah. Both his Pepe longs and his Bitcoin longs are partially liquidated. Again, guys, reminder, this is May 30th. This is 6 days ago. We're reading old news to you. So if you didn't know, hey, we're catching up. Let's see. We don't care about that. EtherFi launches crypto hotel booking service worldwide. Cool.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. So it's a crypto hotel booking. So you can use crypto to get a hotel?
I guess so.
Okay.
Just fucking sleep on the ground, guys. Don't worry about getting a hotel. Just fucking hoof it. There you go.
You got a car, sleep in the back.
Exactly. SharpLink Gaming. This is what me and Brendan talked about on Sunday's show. SharpLink Gaming to raise $1 billion to acquire Ethereum. Now they left out that this is a marketing company whose job is to do affiliate marketing to get people to gamble. Like they're heavily hooked in with casinos. BetMGM. Oh fuck. Damn it. I can't remember all the other ones. But there was a whole bunch of affiliate links that they're posted with. But their whole business model is like, hey, we market things, you make money. We market things, you make money. Now what are they doing? They're doing micro strategies, strategy, whatever. They're doing the Michael Saylor thing, but for Ethereum. So they're raising $1 billion. They're buying Ethereum and they're putting it in a strategic treasury. That's like at least what they said they're going to do. So we'll see what they actually do. But that's the so far what they've been talking about. So shout out to SharpLink. If you guys want more information on that, check out the Sunday show with myself and Brendan. We covered it quite in detail. Also check out, the Degen Roundtable, Walk the Block, wherever the fuck you see us posting. Like we've spoken about this a little bit and commented on it. So that's a thing that's happened. Look at SharpLink to be leading the forefront in doing to Ethereum what Michael Saylor has done to Bitcoin. So we'll see what goes on with that. More to be determined. Texas Bitcoin Reserve Bill clears its final Senate revision and is now headed to the governor's desk. Well, cool fucking beans. I'll give you guys a thumbs up, but I will see it when we see it. So I don't care about Texas passing this bill. Again, it's like when you're a car on a racetrack and there's 15 checkpoints and somebody's like, the car has passed checkpoint number 4. It's like, cool. Tell me when he wins the race. It's like, I understand that it's important, but like, there's so many people that are doing this. I guess it's good to see that they're piling on with all the other homies. So that's
Well,
good.
it's good because, like I just got done saying, this is where the governments and the largest institutions are going to start getting into the cryptocurrency space. I was thinking about it, and the only thought that keeps coming to mind when it comes to these large institutions and governments is what happens when Bitcoin drops 50%, or 70% in the next bear.
Exactly.
Like, so what I think is these governments in the reserve currency or there's my gosh, I'm talking too fast. They're strategic reserves, right? When they start just piling in Bitcoin from there, I think they're just not going to sell it or anything. I think this is like an extremely long-term move for them. So that would allow trillions of dollars worth of Bitcoin to become basically to allow us to be able to exit. I'll put it that way. Because it becomes so heavy,
Government, buy my bags. Fucking
Yes.
send it to the moon, bro.
I've got a feeling that's kind of what's happening right now. And like the governments are just they're so they are so long distance in how long they want to hold these things, that for us traders who are like, 4 years, that's a very, very long time, right? It's going to be like, instead of us selling Bitcoin at $1 trillion market cap, instead it's going to be 10 trillion market cap. And so it's not going to drop nearly as much. That's my little theory.
I suppose we'll see. I like it and I don't like it because it's kind of like the indicator of the S curve, right? Like, am I wrong there? When you've S curved out, when the big guys are buying.
Yeah, it's kind of like, think about it this way, right? So the idea is, you have a brand new product that just came out. You sell it to your friend for $1, and then this friend goes, "Wow, this is really good. I'm going to go sell it to like 5 of my friends for $5." Right? And then one of those friends happens to be like has a store, so now he's going to sell it for $5 to, but maybe to like 100 people. Okay, do you see how it's like it shoots up like this? The liquidity level shoots up until you finally get to the point where it starts leveling out, aka S load, right? And then it starts leveling out to where it's like, okay, so this thing is $1 million each. Who can buy it at that point? Just the largest institutions possible that have unlimited money, basically.
Only the big guys get the slice of the pie at that point.
Biggest. Yeah. Yep.
On the subject, we've got Meta shareholders are rejecting Bitcoin Treasury assessment proposal, calling it unnecessary. So, like, you got the government on one side, and then you got Facebook on the other. That's like, So again, this is the shareholders. It's not like the shakers and movers. This is the people that own the stonks. So, take it for what it's worth. We'll give them the clown emoji and also the laughing emoji. I see your chat there, Nate, about jumping to the newer articles. I am interested, but I don't know. I want to give you the opportunity to convince me, because I think going through it chronologically is kind of like it brings us through time as time passes, but definitely the newer articles are more interesting. So I'll give you an opportunity here. If I click this 67 right here, it brings us right up to what's going on right now, and then we like scroll back in time from there. Do you think that would be a better thing to do?
Yeah, something like that. It's kind of what I'm doing. So when we were talking about stable coins, I just put it in the private chat over here. I came across one where Binance holds 59% of all stablecoin reserves with 31 billion in total.
Shit.
And it kind of adds to the conversation that we were currently having,
Yeah.
However, in then moving down, it's like we've kind of moved away from that, and it'll be into something else as well.
Okay. All right, well, I'll go ahead and touch on this since it's right here. But we got the J.P. Morgan CEO, Jamie Dimon, saying that the U.S. government should not be stockpiling Bitcoin. We should be stockpiling guns, bullets, tanks, planes, drones, and rare earths.
I mean,
Interesting.
I don't disagree with that.
How the bankers are saying we should fund the industrial war machine. And on its surface, you're right. We should have guns. We should have swords. We should have the things that make us sovereign individuals. Now, like, are those guns and swords? Like, if you think about, like, what are these guns and missiles and things doing in terms of yield bearing? Like, I wonder how much money the U.S. selling war makes for the U.S. selling, or makes for the United States versus how much the U.S. owning Bitcoin makes for the U.S. I'm willing to bet that the true yield bearing asset for the United States government is war and is not Bitcoin. So I think I agree with him from a technical standpoint.
However, I think we're moving into Trump,
yeah,
Pump. And so what President Pump is doing is he's turning away from that. And it's not that we're the aggressors now with a war machine, but now we're turning into defensive, where we stop wars with the threat of our pure power, and then we have ourselves a Golden Dome, the greatest.
we're gonna it's gonna be so beautiful. We're gonna have so many 4 pillars of freedom and sovereignty.
Only the fullest. It's the golden 4 pillars. So yeah, we'll have something like that where if anybody wants to try and threaten us, we're gonna have the Golden Dome. It's going to protect us. So what are we gonna do from there? Well, like a businessman, he's gonna move on into the new technologies, which there is currently an arms race happening, but it's in AI. Okay, which means you need technology. So the rare earths make sense, but you don't need more tanks. Now, I could say I will agree you need more drones. I will agree with that. Okay? Because that is the future of warfare. Imagine this. The future of warfare is basically going to be this. Okay? Now, tell me if you agree with me or not. But it's going to be AI drones going out to battlefields, blowing themselves up, and then all the citizens just sit back and wait what the result is.
Perhaps. I will say that that's the logical conclusion. And then I'll take a page out of my like military training and say that the objective of war is to impose your will on the enemy.
Yeah.
So like if you're a drone fighting another drone, what is the imposition of your will in that scenario? And it's like, okay, I'm killing a thing, right? There's two generally speaking, there's two types of war. There's wars of attrition and there's wars of maneuver. A war of attrition is like World War One, where it's like we're gonna send a bunch of our guys right up against a bunch of your guys. Excuse me. And then a war of maneuver is more of like World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, where it's more of like, hey, I'm trying to take out your supply depots. I'm trying to take out your convoys. I'm trying to like pinpoint accuracy, take your things that are the most important to you, rather than just kill a bunch of your dudes. Like, I'm not interested in the numbers. I'm interested in getting the things that make you hurt the most. Like that's what happened with like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's like it wasn't about fighting bad guys. It was about hurting Japan. And that's the thing that got the job done. Now, was it right? Was it wrong? Was it good? Was it bad? Like, that's not my place to say. But like, we imposed our will on Japan when we dropped those 2 bombs and did those like terrible, horrible things and killed all those people. We imposed our will upon Japan, and Japan was like, "Oh, we shouldn't fuck with these cats," And that's essentially what ended the Pacific theater after the European theater was already over. So like from the perspective of what were we talking about again? I can't remember what the original question was.
Actually, I'll add on to what you have to say.
Go ahead.
So what's currently happening now, war has evolved from being kinetic for the most part. Has evolved into, say, economics and imposing your willpower, the sheer amount of damage you can do. At this point, with where we are right now, is economics. We are so big, right? And this is what Trump keeps doing with tariffs. He keeps saying, "Hey, do you want access to the largest spenders on the planet that have ever existed? Do you want access to that market? Well, then basically do what I want. Make a deal with what I want. And then I'll give you access. So that way your country can become rich too."
Yep.
And that's what's happening right now. So overall, overall the future is like when you go into AIs, how are AIs going to fight? Well, see, here's the thing: AIs are going to continually be learning at each other, right? And I think there may be something of a regression back to what you may say is a regression right back to they're just going to be throwing themselves at each other, okay? But they're going to be learning the entire time how they can get that upper hand, and there will be a consistent back and forth because they're always learning, and so I don't know how that would end. However, the thing that I want to point out that the future of warfare is that we're going to be taking the human out of it.
I think, yeah, as far as like direct conflict goes, when there are not humans necessary, then it's like, yeah, why are we going to waste a person when we could buy a machine?
Exactly. So that's why for Jamie Dimon here, I would say yes. Okay, so we need the AIs to go crazy, right? Which in the big beautiful bill, they apparently Congress and and the Senate are unable to basically touch AI. They can't ban anything on having to do with AI for 10 years. That is a little bit scary.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if Trump would want to make like a surveillance state of some kind, which would be kind of scary, or if the reason why is because he knows that the second he's out of there something's going to happen with AI where it advances, and then they're like, oh, we got to stop this now, and we get hindered in the current arms race, and so therefore China takes over the technology race.
I don't like that Congress has to pass a law to spend money. They have to say, hey, we're making rules on how the government works in order to get money. Like, what a fucking crock of shit is that, Like this big, beautiful bill.
A lot of people know.
It's a spending bill. It's like, hey, we're going to spend a whole bunch of money that doesn't exist. So we need to go print it up out of nowhere, right? Like, I don't know. I kind of took this a different direction than I think you intended to go.
Yeah. So you're a little. I'll kind of reposition you here.
Yeah.
So with the big beautiful bill, yeah, you're right. It is for the most part a spending bill, and oddly enough, the Republicans who are voting for it took out all of the Doge cuts. Gee, I wonder why. It's probably because they're receiving money from those cuts.
What a big fucking surprise!
Yeah, didn't see that coming. So that's why Elon is beefing with Trump currently, or at least beefing with the Republicans.
Well, it's not some sort of WWE thing where it's like, oh, I'm dramatic and against you. It's like, no, like the literal purpose of this like thing was to reduce waste. And what comes as a result? A big, beautiful fucking bunch of waste. It's like, hey, our job is to take out the garbage. So here I am. I've filled up this, 20 liter or 20 gallon garbage can, and I'm taking it outside and I'm throwing it in the trash. Now I still got 400 or 4,000 gallons of garbage I got to get out of this house, right? But I'm taking out this 20 gallon can, and then along comes somebody. Like he's like, hey, I'm back from the store, guys, and look at all these things that I bought, and it's gonna produce 50 gallons of garbage, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like that's the world that we live. Like Doge's cuts was, I want to say, like 250 million or 250 billion.
Yeah,
right?
It was over.
It's a drop in the bucket compared to the national debt. Okay, and what does each spending bill look like? It looks like about $1 trillion, a trillion, maybe two. And it's like, oh, let's just increase the national debt by another 2 trillion. No big deal.
Yeah.
We'll just go drop another fucking 1,000 pounds of garbage in the living room with this. You're taking out this 20 gallon can. Like, the fuck out of here.
Here's the big important thing, though.
wrong?
So if you basically what the strategy was is simply have Doge, and I'm kind of pissed that they got rid of the Doge cuts too, and that it will come back. Trust me, it will come back. But the Doge cuts are supposed to be able that savings is supposed to go into the spending on infrastructure and other things into the United States to make the United States a better company with better products that the rest of the world wants to buy, and the world buys things through us via manufacturing, aka we're the next China. Everyone buys our shit. There's going to be made in the United States everywhere. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, and then on top of it, there are tariffs, which is a tax on buying our stuff. Like kind of like like every single time you go and buy something from Walmart, right? Imagine the United States is Walmart. Well, you're a different country. You're buying it. And okay, number one, you have to spend money on the object that you like, the lollipop that you bought, but then there's like a tax on that lollipop. That's the idea of the tariffs. So it's more about the income. It's about the income of the actual country itself that's going to bring down the debt, and that's the idea. Not running at a deficit. That's the whole point.
I think that are the tariffs American stuff going out, or is it other country stuff coming in? Because I thought that it was other country stuff coming in with tariffs.
Yeah,
I
stuff
suppose
coming
it's
in.
both directions.
It
right?
goes both directions.
Okay.
It depends. It depends on like there's a lot of different reasonings for all the different tariffs, but it kind of depends on what they're doing, right? It's kind of like if the United States, if General Motors wants the United States to buy their cars, then they better build them in the United States, so that way there's no tariff on them. Otherwise, if they build them, if they build them,
if they're
out
building
there
all
in
these
China,
cars elsewhere, then it's like the fuckers the citizens getting. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. That's kind of the idea.
Okie dokie.
So it's a really good idea, and it's all about a businessman. A businessman came up with this. He's running the country like a business, rather
That's what
than
Elon's whole point was, right?
Yeah, that was the whole point. The whole point of Doge, number one, is to find the fraud that was happening, so stopping the stealing of our tax dollars. But then number two, to be able to save enough money so that way he can start spending it on more important things, basically reallocating where all that spending or all the savings would be going, right? And then he'll add just a little bit on top of it. So like if you save $2 trillion, which was his goal, okay, in that amount of time you spent maybe $5 trillion, well, now you're at a deficit of 2 trillion, okay, or sorry, 3 trillion. Well, okay, but your net income has increased by $10 trillion. Well, then you can now take a cut of those profits to build the country, and the rest of it goes where? The debt.
Yeah.
There you go.
Theoretically, it's
theoretically.
What a tricky situation. Before we had gone down deep into this rabbit hole, we were
sorry guys.
We were looking at the more modern news stuffs. I wanted to say there was there's actually some thoughts in the chats, so I'm gonna take a moment and go through some chat shout outs.
Let's say hi to Fat Sammy. He just joined us.
Let's go take a look. Let me fix the media thing here. There we go. There's our background. All right, so back to the comments. Let's take a look at what the folks are saying. So we've been joined by Fat Sammy. Good to see you, Fat Sammy. He's got a question. We'll hop on that in a second here. But first thing that Fat Sammy says is, hello, guys. Good to see you, Fat Sammy. Glad that we can have you with us today. Black Label Expat comes in shortly after Sammy said hi, and he says, drone warfare is a war of exchange. One side trades a 25-year-old soldier, born and raised, educated, love, trained to kill, for a $50 drone built in a week. Exactly. It's like, why am I like, if you're a knight and you're wearing armor, then you spend, X, Y, and Z amount of dollars on the armor, and you can kill fucking 50 villagers or whatever the hell, right? If you buy a tank, you can kill an infinite number of soldiers, right? Before so like you just scale this up, and then all of a sudden the tank becomes less useful versus a $50 drone. So like this dude's whole lifetime, 25-year-old person, born, raised, educated, everything that this person's life amounts to is ended by a $50 piece of equipment that just like goes zzz, pop, done diddy do.
That's so tragic, brother. That's insane.
It's super tragic. It's incredibly tragic, and it's the devaluing of human life, which is something that AI does and that drone technology does. And it's like, this is real. So if you get conscripted and you're killed by a drone, then it's like, this is the sad truth of the value of your life, And it's like, it behooves you guys to not put yourself in positions where this thing could happen to you. I'll take it back to the 4 pillars of sovereignty, the pole barn of freedom, right? Like
yes, the pole barn of freedom, right? Everybody.
if you're missing those things, then like you might just end up being tragic. You might just end up as a statistic, as another drone bombing, where the last thing you hear is zzz, and then pop or whatever the hell. So, man, some crazy things to think about. In that country, in that exchange, one country loses a life and the other loses pocket change, and so it becomes like, can you supply more people while we supply more money? Like I'll bring to light the famous Russian thing that happened in World War II, where it's like, hey, we're giving you a stripper clip of ammo, and we're giving your buddy a gun, and you guys both have to charge that machine gun. The machine gun man's sitting there just mowing down people, and there's a whole bunch of people running with guns and ammo and everything, and it's just like it really cheapens the human experience and the human existence to live in this world where drones are fought or where wars are fought with this type of tech, and it behooves the winner to have the better tech so they can save their own people.
By the way,
if
I have
you're
a little
loser,
insight. If you can bring that back up real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. With this, I want you to go ahead and say change loses a life for Russia and loses pocket change as Ukraine. Now, why is it that the richest country in the world kept sending more and more money?
Yeah.
Shame.
It's a damn shame, boys and girls. Let's go on to some of the more of these chat shouts. Fat Sammy, big question for me is, do we top out markets in November or go into super cycle? All eyes on June interest rate from the FOMC and the U.S. tariff on China and European Union. Well, I'll tell you this, Sammy. I don't know a fucking thing, man. So, best of luck in your predictions and listening to people that are going to tell you campfire stories. If you've come for financial advice, then let me tell you, everything that we talk about on this stream is not financial advice. We're a whole bunch of assholes on the internet talking about our feelings. I'm like 5 beers deep right now. I'm pretty damn drunk. I don't know where Nate's at in his sobriety, but like anyone that
I've had
tells
2
you
shots so far. I'll take another one for you.
anyone that tells you anything is going to happen like definitively, they're not lying. They're selling you a story because you're buying. So like I love you, bro, but like these are campfire stories,
They really
super
are.
cycle, top markets in November, June interest rate into the FOMC, U.S. tariff on China and the European Union. Think of how many times people have told you this thing is definitively happening in the market. You guys remember $12,000 Ethereum? Because I do. That was a great story, wasn't it? Didn't work out so great, huh? Do you guys remember Bitcoin's topping at $64,000. Richard Hart said that. Richard Hart tells campfire stories too. Everyone tells campfire stories. We all
100K
think that we're
Bitcoin.
100% correct. What's that?
100K Bitcoin.
100K
Super
Bitcoin.
cycle.
Super cycle, stablecoin cycle. Like Trump's going to get in, and within the 30 days of his joining, we're going to have 5-cent hex. And we're going to have all, it's like, bro, we're literally all hypnotists that just really fucking suck at
Sell
being
me a
accurate.
story.
It's
Sell me a
all
bridge.
campfire stories. That's why it's like look right up here. It says fire tenders. We're fire tenders, man. Like I don't know anything more than you. I'm holding a fucking sword for Christ's sake, drinking Shinerbach on the internet. Like just because I've got a camera and a StreamYard account, like doesn't mean that I don't know any fucking thing. Like and same thing for everyone else. No one knows what the market's going to do. The market's just a big giant bunch of people that are getting their knickers in a twist, and they go and they buy things because they feel like it. And it's just it's just a whole bunch of nincompoops telling you stories,
Yeah.
man.
I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and answer this one.
Wrong vibe. Yeah, absolutely wrong vibe. Sorry, bro. I love you.
So here's the way that I look at this, right? Because I do subscribe to the whole idea of like campfire stories. And there's a lot of stories where, 12K and pray, right? So you get a lot of stories of like, can this happen? Well, whenever you're doing technical analysis, Sammy, how many times is it like, well, it could go up or it could go down? It always happens. That always bothers me because I see these people like Jay. Jay blows my mind with how good he is at this. But I'm always thinking to myself, okay, well, in the end, though, what you've said is a bearish scenario, which goes down, and a bullish scenario, which goes up. and you usually give like a, well, 55 to 45% either way. And that's generally how it goes. I've rarely ever seen a technical analysis that has been like, oh yeah, this is definitely like 70% sure it's going up or down, right? I've never really seen that. So for myself, I don't rely so heavily on, oh, what is the chart saying? Even though, I mean, it is good, and there's many different directions you need to go, right? There is technical analysis, fundamental analysis, on-chain data that you all need to kind of like cross what do you call it? Cross-pollinate, right?
Cross-pollinate.
So in cross-pollinating, you can get a better idea and get the highest chance of having the right answer. Now, based on everything that I've been studying through all three of those methods, just kind of like where the top would be, you need to not look at a price. That's number one. Never look at a price, because that's just terrible. You can have maybe a price range, but the price range, that gets iffy for yourself when it's like, okay, well, it's 150,000 Bitcoin, and from 150,000 to 250,000 is when it should top out. Okay, well, it's 150,000 last May, right? And you're like, wait a minute, is that the top? Well, according to the top, the time zone, that's what I look at. The time zone should be anywhere from starting in November and then into Q1 of next year. It's got to be right around that direction. And there will be certain signs that will extend it later on. One of the biggest things that I saw as far as altcoins go, right? Like when did the altcoins pop off? Because we all want to know that one, right? When do they pop off? Well, if everything continues on the way that the cycles usually work out, it's probably going to be Q4 of this year, right? Sometime right around Christmas, more than likely, or at least December, right? However, if you, in looking at the others chart, and I was taking fractals of every single cycle, and I was taking a look at them, and what stuck out to me is that every single cycle, they're extending, they're getting longer. It's weird because the way that these cycles are working is it's not 4 years exactly. It's like 4 years, then like 4 years and 6 months, 4 years and 8 months after that, or something like that, right? It's like extending by months. And so eventually, this is why the theory of an extended cycle is popping up. And that's the reason why I'm looking at this going, you know what? I will closely watch the markets starting in October, because that's when you're going to start seeing the signs, the true signs of where the topping out is actually going to happen. This is why I'm getting pissed off at all of these people. Exactly. This is why I'm getting pissed off at all these people who are sitting here saying, oh, we're going to be topping out in July. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make nothing is telling me that that's going to happen, except for these people who are like, well, if you look at the chart, this is technically based on other cycles. Where, no, shut the fuck up with that. Yeah. That's not where that's going. You need
Charts
to look at
trailing indicators.
Yeah,
Charts
many different
indicators.
Exactly, right? Many different indicators. And so what I'm looking at is, and this is the time range. This is how you should think about things. Okay, I'm going to start watching closely in October, and I'm not going to actually sell anything because everybody is saying November. Remember, the crowd usually is wrong. Just saying. I'm not going to be selling in November, but I'm still going to be very closely watching for signs. And if that means that I'm selling on the way down and I missed the peak, that's fine with me. I've still technically won the game. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to be looking though for Q1 of next year. That's, I think, February. I don't know what it is, but February in my mind, it seems like the top. And the one of the biggest reasons that I'm seeing why I think it's February rather than December is because the world is stubborn, and we're waiting for all that tariff money to start coming in for Trump's plans to really truly start, kind of pumping us. Donald Pump, we need the super pump, but he's not in a position for that yet, right? He's not in a position for that, right? So what I think is, and I'm kind of basing this off of Ukraine and Russia, they're being stubborn as all hell. You got Hamas being stubborn as all hell. You've got China being stubborn as all hell. It's the stubbornness of the world hasn't quite fallen in line with the whole with Donald Trump's plans yet. And that's why I keep seeing it's extending. Anyways, rant over.
I will say he has clarified.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah. It's a good TED Talk. Folks at home who have never heard that before, there you guys go. You heard it here first on the DGen Roundtable from Mr. Nate McEdit, the Ascending Man. Check out his show, by the way, Ascending Man over on YouTube. But Mr. Fat Sammy wanted to say it was more of a fundamental analysis question, not a TA question. So for the folks at home who have never heard the difference between fundamental analysis and technical analysis is the reading of the charts. It's the tea leaves. It's like you look at the indicators over time. You look at these squiggly lines, right? That's technical analysis. Fundamental analysis is like, okay, what does the coin do? What does the token do? What does the market do? What is the story? Excuse me. What is the story behind like the things that happen that are central to the thing that's in question? So, I'm going to go back over his question here. So the fundamentals are: do we top out in markets in November or go into a super cycle? All eyes on June interest rate info from the FOMC and U.S. tariff on China and the European Union. So I will agree. That is a fundamental analysis question.
Oh, yes. Okay. So the stubbornness of Jerome Powell as well. He should have cut a while ago. So that's ultimately what he's asking. It's like the stubbornness is of the world at this point is extending the cycle currently. And that's basically, I think that's ultimately what me and Sammy have kind of come to realize. A little bit of alpha being dropped on today's show. We are not financial advice.
Yes. Hashtag not financial advice. I'll say that this. I will say this. Technical analysis is a campfire story. Fundamental analysis is a campfire story. Tokenomics is a campfire story. All of these things, all of these stuff that people focus on, what is the Fed doing? It's a campfire story. What is the United States doing? What is China doing? What is Russia doing? What is Saudi Arabia doing? They're all campfire stories, and they all intermingle with each other to create a market of people that buy and sell that we don't know what the fuck they're going to do until they start doing it. There are people that do know that what's going to happen in the market, but they're sure as fuck not going to tell me, and they're probably not going to tell you out here on YouTube. They're probably going to be talking behind closed doors so that way they can play their cards best to extract value from us. So I will say this, that like it's all campfire stories. We're all on our own here, but we're all kind of together a little bit, because we're all in the same communities and things. But like realistically speaking, like we're all just gambling. We're all just hoping that the thing that we think is going to happen turns out to be the thing that does happen. And that's kind of why like one of the things that we suggest is, don't gamble more than you're willing to lose. Don't push for don't leverage yourself out further than you can reach. Keep your job, keep doing your survival, keep doing your everything. This cryptocurrency it's kind of meant to break you out of the rat race. But what if it doesn't? Are you ready for that? Like, this is something for folks to seriously consider. Like, most people fuck shit up. So you have to wonder, are you inside of the most people category, or are you inside of the few, the proud category? Are you going to be another normie that does the same things that everyone else is doing? Or are you going to be the person that changes their life and changes their patterns and does the things that work, does the things that are proven to work, and takes risks on the things that aren't proven to work, but that might pay off really, really great in the future? So, like, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, it's all stories that we tell ourselves that have some sort of meaning, when really the only meaning is how everybody interprets it as a collective and what they decide to do from that. And there's outside forces that we don't understand. There's people with way bigger pockets than us that can shake and move things, and they're going to act in ways that we don't anticipate. So trying to predict it could be fruitful. And I tip my hat to everybody that does it effectively. But I'm here to have fun, to gamble, to hang out with my amigos, and to shake hands, kiss babies, and do all that other stuff.
And have
So
no
we're gonna do
regrets.
Yes, no regrets. Let's see. They're all lagging indicators, aka fireplace stories, but when ideas become populated, they then invalidate themselves, and the opposite occurs due to the majority follow them. You're absolutely right, bro. Absolutely right. The point is, it's really fucking hard to determine what the mob's gonna do. And the way that we make money is by doing the opposite thing that the mob is doing before they start doing it. So that's what you got to think about. And I think that's where we ought to leave this this Mr. Super Fun and Fancy Whiskey Wednesday. Nate, let's have some closing thoughts, broski. I wanna toss it over to you. Let's hear
Absolutely.
your thoughts.
So one of the things, obviously, I don't want to stick to crypto only. I don't want to just close myself in on the one thing. So I'm starting on my Ascending Man channel on YouTube. I'm actually doing many different things. There's a lot of different subjects I'm going into. Part of what you heard today about all these politics, those are some of the things that I am sharing on my channel. You know, and I kind of do commentary on stuff. So if there are any videos that you think would be fun for me to review, or something that you think I need to see and maybe comment on, go ahead, just send them over to me via x.com right down here. And yeah, go check out my channel, because I've literally I've made so many of these videos so far, of these commentary videos. Basically it's the same thing as what I'm doing here today. It's every single day. Like, I literally have one coming out every single day now. I'm going to try and keep the upload schedule going pretty frequently. And yeah, when you're at work or whatever, just go ahead, throw me on. Kind of, you can hear sort of what's happening around the world, or maybe just something silly and funny that you want to laugh at, right? And you can hear my commentary and joking around in there as well. So it's all about having a good time. I'm going to be doing crypto things as well. I actually legitimately think I'm going to go over to RH Max's debates, and I think I might do a review on that as well, and just kind of do a little commentary on that. I think that's going to be a fun one. So yes, go over to The Ascending Man on the YouTubes and go subscribe to me and enjoy, guys. Will, what is going on? And take us out.
So for the folks at home who have never seen me before or don't know where you guys can find more of the things that I say, you can go to will.pls.fyi. That's basically a decentralized link tree that has all of my social media. So you can find me at Will Stevenson X on Twitter. You can find me at will.stevenson.iii on Instagram and Facebook and other things. But anyways, the point is, it's all linked off of this site right here. So if you want to hang out with me more on the interwebs or in real life, then go to that place and let's chittery chat and see what's going on. As far as things going on in the near future, my Shreveport job has been postponed, so I will probably not be going to Louisiana. So that's a bummer. But here I am over in Dallas, hanging out, having fun. I went to a ropes course today. And that was really cool. I went with Dr. Chen. We had a great time climbing around on telephone poles and in trees and zip lining and jumping off platforms. It was great. It was fantastic. So I might be asking them if they want to hire me in between my tower job things. So I might be going in and playing summer camp counselor over at a high ropes course and teaching kids how to put on harnesses.
Bro, seriously, that's hilarious. I love it, man.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't sent them my resume yet, but I went over there and I was a customer earlier today, and I got to tell you, this place is fucking sick. So shout out to Trinity.
Awesome.
Over in south side of Dallas. You guys were freaking sweet, and I look forward to doing more business with you, whether I'm a customer or an employee. It's going to be awesome. So as far as things going on in the near future with the Degen Roundtable, that's what's going on with me anyways, personally. Professionally, for the both of us and for everyone else on the Degen Roundtable, we have the shows that go on every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Man, I've been a bad producer. Let me throw up this banner right here. There we go. Look at that. You guys can see down there on the bottom. Every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, we're here live on the Degen Roundtable. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or you're watching us over on X, this is where we stream from. So, youtube.com/@Degen Roundtable. We're a bunch of degenerates, and so we call ourselves Degen for short. Degen Roundtable on YouTube, and then on X, same thing. You guys can find us at Degen Roundtable over on X. Again, we stream starting at 8 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Wednesdays, we shoot the shit, we hang out, we get drunk, we have fun, we talk to people, we do cool things. That's what we're doing this time. This is a good time. Sometimes we will shoot out a link and folks in the audience can join us live. We don't always do it, but it's like generally every other Wednesday. So that's sort of kind of what we do here. On Fridays, we have book club. For this Friday coming up, we're going to read the Ethereum white paper. So the last two book clubs that we've done, we've covered the Bitcoin white paper and we've covered the Hex white paper. So the next thing that we're going to do for book club is we're going to live read the Ethereum white paper. Nate, does that sound like something that interests you?
That is a very interesting one. I think I like that one, but well, maybe not as much as the Bitcoin white paper because that's a classic. You know, that's when you it's like, bro, you have to read the Bitcoin white paper
for real, man.
I think it'll be funner. I truly think it'll be funner than the Bitcoin.
I've been in Bitcoin for probably 3 years before I found out about Hex, and like I've never read the Bitcoin white paper until a couple weeks ago, and we did it live on stream. So that was my first time reading the white paper. So we're going to be covering the Ethereum white paper for this this Friday's book club. That's what we're going to be doing. So if you guys are interested in learning about Ethereum and what it means and how it functions and the principles of Ethereum, we're going to be covering the Ethereum white paper on this Friday's book club. So, and then hopefully Zenith will finally be done with taking care of his chores in real life, and then we can get back on our regular book club schedule. But I really do enjoy reading these cryptocurrency white papers and turning the Fridays into like an educational day. So it's cool stuff. It's fun stuff. And then on Sunday we have our normal cryptocurrency show where we cover all of the news items that have happened over the week. So very similar to kind of like what we were doing today, but we'll go more in depth and we're more professional with it. So a lot less drinking and a lot more good news stories and things like that. So with that being said, that's basically what we cover. Let me take a quick glance at the chats and make sure that we did everything. We covered everyone. So again, reminder, you guys can fight Nate at x.com/theascendingman369. And you guys can find me at will.pls.fyi. So there you go. Or if you want to find me on X, it's just Will Stevenson X. So there you guys go. I want to thank you all for spending your valuable time with us here on the Degen Roundtable. As Agent J often says, we know that time is your most valuable asset, and we appreciate you spending that asset right here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Stevenson, but more importantly, you have been watching the Degen Roundtable. Tonight, I'm the producer, so Mr. Producer, go ahead and get that trigger finger ready, because it's time to remind all the folks at home to remember to Degen responsibly.
Degen responsibly. Well, I'm dead.
There is no second best.